Thank you guys for joining in tonight. We don't take this for granted. Kama kawaida, I'm naona the usual legends. Judge Nicholas, nice to see you here. We need answers from you as well. Motorsport umetuachia bana ama nini? Thank you so much for joining us. Collins, asante sana. Jeremy, thank you so much. We also need answers from you as well. We know you're preparing something. She can drive. Tafadhali tulete Shli. Tunataka tupe uhondo kamili. I think she was the only lady at the motorsport, and most of us saw what they did or what she did. So will be great to have, Masinga in her own eyes, a lady in a man's game, what she learned, what she thinks she can improve on, what I think it's also her first motorsport event, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, tonight will be very interesting. We have our local legends, wanatajiri wangu. I think we should be having Mobitaya somewhere here. So kindly ask for your friends to join us. Ask all your motorsport guys to also join us, and we should be able to start in the next exact 1 minute. Kevin, I see you here as well. Vicky, asante sana for coming. And yeah, let's see. At Janky, naona unasema tulete Shli. Shli is coming. Acha, wapi ya watu? She can drive. Please bring Shli. Jeremy is also here. Leroy and the guys from Rupal Racing are also coming up. So yeah, we are starting now. All right. So the last 3 days you've had Masinga. This was the 10th year anniversary. It's happened in the last 10 years. It's been bigger. Guys are pushing a lot of numbers. Guys are approaching 1,000 horsepower. Masinga is so big that guys have started to cut their cars to Kenya to race and things like that. This event has been held at Masinga, the airstrip, which is 153 kilometers from Nairobi. In the past 10 years, it's a bit of both. It's both the racing and also the drive to Masinga. It's really nice roads, and also it's a time for guys with cars. It's a time for guys into the scene. It's time for guys who are just looking for a weekend getaway to just get out of town, go somewhere new. What is this? Talk to guys in the space. Just being with your friends and things like that. And I did not manage to go all the days. I went on Sunday. I didn't see Jere. My money was on Jere, obviously, because I know him and I know what he's capable of. But obviously, the big names, your Jeres, your Leroy's, did not finish because of some mechanical issues, which if you're into motorsport or if you're into cars, this is something that you would expect, obviously, purely because, one, it's a very expensive sport. Two, you're sort of pushing the limit of what manufacturers don't even recommend. If you're pushing almost 1,000 Newton meters under your wheels, for a car that was rated for 600, you're almost doubling the power. And obviously, the double the power, the more you need to do and things like that. Obviously, the good side is we did not have any incidents. There were no safety incidents on the track itself. There were some incidents and accidents outside, which I cannot speak of. However, on the track itself, and this is kudos to the organizers, the Masinga TT guys, the Delta Motorsport guys, for one, bringing us a safe event. Two, making sure that everyone that was there was well taken care of. There weren't any security issues, and I think most of the guys that attended the event had fun. I did have fun, and best of all is it's normally going out, having fun, enjoying your time, networking, finding a new friend. If you're into motorsport, asking questions, putting names to faces, or rather faces to names. You've always seeing El Gapo. Now you see the car itself, the driver. You're always seeing Leroy. Now you're seeing the car and the driver. You want to see the interior, you want to see the engine, and asking questions. And to me, I think network is the biggest things to events like this, especially if you're into cars, you're into engineering, because Kenyans are actually, doing so much when it comes to motorsport. Most garages are actually starting to bring the noise, literally. Now it's garages against other garages, which is a good thing, because the moment we push the envelope, then we have a safe spot. and we also become good people. When it comes to time, guys were running mostly 12s. However, I've seen, and Kelvin, please correct me on this, I've seen guys running 11s. And when it comes to numbers, that's football fields in seconds. And so I'd like to get just your understanding of the sport itself. If you attended, the mic is open. Kindly ask for the mic and let's have this conversation. Deno Spina na kuona hapa na kutumia mic, najua unajaribu kutoroka, najua hujapumzika. Please, you just have to talk the entire time. Thank you for emceeing the event. Tunajua wewe father of two under two, number one motorsport hype MC. This is normally your gig and you did a good job. Thank you sana for that, updating us for that. And so I think officially the speakers panel is up and let's go for it. Junkyard na kuona hapa jamaa ya GDM, tuko hapa kuletea viboko juu mko down bad. Deno chukua mic, she can drive na kungoja hapa. Alpha as well clear na kungoja hapa. So let's have this conversation. So on the chat bot, obviously so George says he can listen but can't talk. Ni sawa, you're at work. Asante sana for gracing us as well. So if you don't know Nicholas, you haven't been in the sport for long enough. But if you Google him, you'll just see what he has. Ni jamaa wa Subaru. We'd also like to know his thoughts. He might just chat somewhere and we'll be able to put it here as well. So let's see where tonight takes us. For 75 of you, asanteni sana for coming. And let's recap. Kelvin, acha tuanze na wewe. Let me just send some mics to a few guys. Dennis, acha tuanze na wewe. Since the event technically ilikuwa yako, go for it.
What's up good people? Asante sana mazi Alexo for that. Pleasure pia kukuona jana. And sijui nianze wapi?
Anzi hata juu man, tuko ready. Kwanza naambiwa place mlala alikuwa na stima. It's weird na Masinga ndo pale stima yote inatoka.
Hapana, kulikuwa na stima. The place was lit.
Bas kuna wase walienda kulala huko kwa machuo.
Unajua sasa mimi siwezi ongea sana juu unajua mazee serikali ilikuwa around. So sikutoka sana. And mimi nilienda event on Friday. Nimewekea dread hapo, so wenye hawakuona wanaweza angalia. And tulitoka hapo na Taji na mother of two, tukafika tukapata Kinamura wame set up polite. Usi maze nile Masinga yenye nimepata hata vendors wali set up the day before juu the crowd yenye tulikuwa expect. Of course the expectations were met. And kafika pale Friday polite, KZK kafika bila manoma. And day one tukaingia, lineup ikakuwa moja hatari sana. And nilikuwa na wish tu sa Kelvin angekuwa on hiyo hivyo 8 ama ndio hivyo 9 ya TZ vile ilikuwa inaamka. And lineup ilikuwa maridadi sana, yani wase wa TZ walitokea, wase wa Kampala walikuja, yani wase wa 254 walikuwa wameregister pale a good number of cars. Yani first cars bro, ulikuwa unaona gari na launch uko like okay guys walikuwa wameficha builds and gari zenye tunajua of course tuliziona pale. And nanisikia vizuri
kabisa maiji kabisa.
Asante sana. So now Gymkhana tukaingia day one gari za kwanza actually tulikuwa gari zenye zili register for Gymkhana asubuhi zilikuwa around 45 cars. And the guys walikuwa wanafanya timing Kenya Jomurai wakasema hapa tutafanya 3 hits as agreed before. But now big up to the timing guys Kenya Jomurai was Delta Motorsport. They did an amazing job. Yani wali make sure I think by saa 5 no by saa 4 hivi na nusu tulikuwa tushafanya hit 1. You can imagine vile wase wali keep time, so ilikuwa fiti sana. So by lunch time tulikuwa tushafanya like 2 hits successively. And by 2:30 hapo, actually by 2 tulikuwa tushafanya 3 hits, and wasa wakaona kuna time nini, wacha tufanye hit 4. So now vile walifanya hit ya 3, kina Leroy, unajua gari yake ilikuwa inasumbua hapo, the first hit nini, tuners wakaingia pale, kina Christian Big Up Yourself, kina KJ wakasort gari ya Leroy, and ikakubali, and wenye walikuwa kwa track waliona hit number 2 vile Leroy alifanya some good time. Leroy is a good driver mazi, ushaona tu yani ule mse is going sideways kwa hizo corners hard, unaona ile tu yani mse anaingia tu yani corners serious tu yani, and he recorded the best time of course, and followed by Mustafa akafanya came second, alikuwa na what do you call this car, Suzuki Swift Sport 6-speed manual, it's a 1.6 liter. Fanya some good time. Oswega ndio hiyo siku inakuwa siku yao ya kushine, wase wa Gymkhana au ni wase wa go-kart, so wanaelewa kumaneuver kwa hizo apex and racing lines. Wale wase wanajua mambo ya fun, wanaelewa hizo vitu, and at least wakapush some good times, and of course unapata difference ni 3-4 seconds, but 2 seconds kwa track ni time mingi sana. So tuka pale wase wa drift wakaingia sasa, unajua kina Jinlu Crabman East Africa ndio hao, katupatia show moja hatari pale, na kina Nicholas, the guy alikuwa na Nissan 300 ZX ya kutoka Kampala drift, kajama mnoma sana wa kudrift, anatoka hapo Uganda, and wase fulani hapo kusikumuki jina ujama, alikuwa na Altiza ya kutoka TZ, ilikuwa imeandikwa no drift no fun, sideways manenos, and wakakuja pale wakatupatia show moja hatari sana, and mafans wanapenda hizo vitu, and tuka keep the crowd happy, and so wakajibamba, everyone was safe. Kidogo but sticks, nilikuwa nimesahau stick alikam hot mazi kwa the last corner, and alafu gari ika span, and but anyway hakuna msaliumia, but the one ikakuwa successful, all the cars zika perform poa. Of course hakukosi vitu, a few things. Gari ya Mavo unfortunately ikaleta shida. Mavo wa Dazi Auto Racing Team, the Starlet I think ilikuwa na shida, ikaleta shida kidogo. R7 ikaleta shida kidogo. Sipendi kupenda details za gari ya mse vile imefanyika, but R7 ikakuwa na some mechanical issue. Starlet ya Mavupi ikakuwa na issue. Gari couple of cars ikakuwa na issue, but basically day one ilikuwa fiti, and kulikuwa na expectations on day 2, and after party wase mapiano wakatokea, and tukafika pale sherehe 1-2. Sitaki kuongelea mambo ya after party sana juu hata sikukaa sana, and the 2 now on drugs, ndio sasa two cars are going head to head, zingine zinafanya solo runs, ndio at least we get the times. Juu unaweza pata tukifanya group stages, unaweza pata maybe kuna gari kama 5, na of course kuna gari yenye haitakuwa na partner wa kurace nayo, so you do a solo run, then you are timed, you see the times that you've done, so that you can be compared na wale watu wako kwa hiyo group yako, ndio for ranking. And gari zikafanya some nice pulls. Wase wa kina Shli did some amazing times, kina Doc mazi, ilikuwa jana ilikuwa siku tu ya Germans mazi, yani Shli big up yourselves mazi, yani, and kina Kinyash bana, sponsored by tajiri wangu hapo na SpaceYaMagari mazi. Karibu sauti yangu ipotee vile niliona Kinyash amekula Subaru hapo ya Boostly Auto Performance, ilikuwa inaonyeshwa na jamaa anaitwa Brand Ivani. It's Subaru, it's a stock WRX 6-speed with a 6-speed swap, but jamaa wetu akafanya maneno. I think that was my highlight ya day 1, ya day 2. Vile niliona, okay, mimi ni mtu wa Subenje, but Kinyash vile alishift manze, hiyo Starlet alisema if it dies it dies, and of course it delivered. And kutoka hapo tukaingia group stages. The evil ile ya Salman Manji from IPP ikasukumwa good one manze, that car was pulling. I just wish Sir Kelvin alikuwa mahali ningemsikia akishout aki evil ikikimbia hapo. Unfortunately gari ya Cash had some issues. Niliona Christian akijaribu to some logs there, and honestly hiyo gari I believe ningeulizwa as an MC it would have performed way better, but maybe these things do happen on the track. And of course joto ilikuwa huko haikuwa joke, so magari I think zilikuwa na issues here. I don't want to go into nitty-gritties whatever happened to the cars, but most of the fast cars, the built cars, zilifanya 2-3 hits and they were out. Kama gari ya Rupal Racing, the GC, which actually the Subaru did the best time, did a 11.9 and they did an 11.6, but now wakashikilia kidogo best time of the day. Alafu Doc from Balerion Performance akakuja akawa drone, he did our 11.4. That's a low 11, and ikashikiliwa kama the best time of the day. Kutoka hapo tukaenda group stages, because now the drags gari zilikuwa mob. Tulikuwa na Audi S6 fulani hapo ya TZ, that car was fast. The 4 liter V8 gari ilikuwa inavuta good one, but the bunnies zikatuonesha. I think there was a run between the S6 and Shli, na Shli akamkanyaga. Nikasikia mafans wakisema Shli akikwambia she will drive you, she meant it, and she literally did that. And mazee wase waliputa pa show yani, and tukaona wale wase waliona the run. Actually one of the best runs zenye niliona jana ni between Doc and Shikoli. Those two golfers, kama ningeulizwa zingekuwa kwa group moja, because zote there's no way zinge proceed sorry for that, zinge proceed to the finals, because zilikuwa in the same group, so lazima wangefika elimination kwa group moja, gari moja itoke. But kama wangekuwa different, those cars zilikuwa na potential. But of course a race is a race, a win is a win, and Shikoli alirun against Doc, and Shikoli akamkanyaga Doc, so Shikoli akaproceed kwa hiyo group yao, ndio wakaenda elimination kidogo, alafu ikafika semis. Now ikafika semis now Shli akaproceed to the semis, so ikakuwa ni focus zenye zimeproceed to the semis, ikakuwa ni Shli, Shikoli, the Golf 6 GTI with the all wheel conversion ilikuwa na jamaa anaitwa Nelson Sakwa. Hiyo gari imejengwa na inaitwa Rain Sports. Nipenda kubig up wasejo, they always do a good job on those machines. And who else? And Amenzo. Karibuni sahau TT sexy bana. Aish. So now Amenzo ile time vile waliingia semis, the Amenzo, so now walikuwa natafuta number 1 na 2 and 3 na 4. So Amenzo akarun against they ran against, acha nitakumbuka. But now wakati think li run against Shli. Yeah, I think li run against Shli. So ndio wakakuja ikafika. So now wakati Shli lost, actually Shli, big up yourself kama uko kwa space, because Shli alikuwa consistent from the first hit, na she only lost on the semis. You see jokes, that car has been very consistent, and when you amebuild yo golfer kazi safi, the driver mode yani ilikuwa tu kila kitu ilikuwa tu on top, and alilose to the semis, na alilose actually just 2 hits, the quarters and the semis, 2 hits peke yake. And so now wakati alilose tukapata Amenzo akarun against. Now Amenzo now proceeded to the finals against now sorry Nelson Sakwa alirun against Shli ndio akalose kwa Nelson. Do Nelson akaproceed to the finals na Mark 6 ndio wakago head to head na Amenzo. And I can tell you for sure the Audi TTS hiyo gari ilikuwa, all those cars zenye zilikuja 1 to 4 zilikuwa consistent up to the end, and the drivers were amazing people. They enjoyed every hit, and they pushed those cars. The cars behaved, the cars cooperated, and as I was seeing mazee, nilikuwa na have fun because I could say at least for the first time in a long time tuliona Dame ame proceed to the final to top 5 on the list, and that was an amazing, and the culture is growing, and vile finally ilifika I hope amsikita jiakilia.
Tunasikia but we don't mind.
Sawa, thanks. So now tukafika finali. So on track number 1 ilikuwa side ya chini, Amenzo akarun against. On track number 2 ilikuwa Mark 6 ya Nelson Sakwa, and you all know on a quarter mile bro, if you don't launch hard enough, ama msea kitoka kidogo and you guys are chasing almost the equal power, it will be very hard for you to keep up with that car, especially if someone is running a DSG ama unajua at least manual kuna chance ya kumeshift, but msea kitoka mbele yako is no playing catch up kwa quarter mile. Msea kikutoka amekutoka, and that's what happened. And ukiangalia kama kuna msea aliona video ya the finals, that Mark 6 ilikuwa very close. Amenzo alilaunch fiti sana, slightly mbele ya not ati alikuwa na false start, but alilaunch poa, but alilaunch mbele ya the Mark 6. But ukiangalia towards the end, Mark 6 ilikuwa sharply catch up, but kidogo tu ilimwacha tu na bumper, and that's how we got the winner of the drag. That was Amenzo with the Audi TTS. Back to you, Alex.
Wow, thank you so much, Deno. And I don't know how to chop that off. Maze, upiga job fiti yani, Maze, thank you so much for that. And it's good that we have the usual suspects up, Kalasinga, Pete, and Junkyard. And I want to listen to their thoughts as well on that. So I'm just picking something interesting, and I'm sure Kalasinga will help me on this. Is, you know, top 4 is obviously golf, and if we go top 10, chances are 8 will be golfs. Audi GT is basically a golf, and all these cars were actually driven back, and this is actually a sub directed to Junkyard, to a JDM. And Kalasinga, if you're here, najua you'll call both Mr. Starlet. One more thing, there was a video that I saw of the Starlet chasing the M235 and garage. That was my highlight. But Kalasinga, please start.
Semeni, mi bado niko na hangovers za Masinga. Mazee, my eyes are red. Today I was so lethargic in the office. But anyway, I had lots of fun. It was a fantastic event. VAG guys wameshine. I think if there's something that we can take away from this Masinga, consistency is key. And that's what VWs and Audi did. They were actually consistent from the beginning to the very end. I think zile golfers like Senos and the other white golfer, I think they were still in the top 8 or top 10, if I'm not wrong. I'm not too sure about the standings, but I was really impressed. I think Juzi tulikuwa tunaambiwa venye tunasambaza agenda ya golf. Unakumbuka?
Bana. We've been vindicted.
We've been vindicted. Yeah. This Masinga TT was evidence enough. Golf it's so easy to work on. It produces consistent results. If you have a DSG, all-wheel drive, and you see they were not even running really big turbos. Like I think Shli, she's not even running a really big turbo and I run the IS38 hybrid, and the IS38 is the same, is the stock turbo that comes in the Golf R. So amefanya tu kwa hybrid, alafu na supporting mods na. The car was performing very, very well. You know, Subaru guys had to run turbos za sijui Caterpillar, ile tractor ya Caterpillar bana. But still, things didn't go too well. Not that they did bad, actually. I think for those who were there, Karan's runs were ridiculous before the car decided to leave the room. The runs were actually ridiculously quick. Even the Evo by Salman, I think that's another car that actually did very, very well. In fact, Salman only lost because he bogged at the launch twice. Otherwise, I think, to be honest, alikuwa top 4. Angekuwa top 4 ni venye tu hana DSG. The goals were really, really consistent. Kwa DSG, hauna issue za kulaunch. Sakel zinasikia, ni hivyo nimetaja ukaanza kuumwa na robo.
Kabisa. Wambie bede, if that Evo engage, stick to performance tu vizuri. Top 3 nani Salman angeingia.
But it didn't.
Yeah. In fact, I really felt bad.
Atuna DSG.
Hiyo even ya kwa DSG ingekuwa top 3 for sure. I don't know what happened to the S8 and the S6 at TZ. I think Deno can perhaps clarify. I never saw it lose in any race, but somewhere along the way it sort of disappeared. I was expecting it to be in the top 4. So I don't know what happened to. I don't know if anyone else saw it lose any race. Nimekaa chini na mabeshte wangu na tunasema hatukuona hiyo S6 ikilose any race. In fact, at some point we even started thinking that it ran out of fuel. Which other car was there? Aminzo was also very, very good. Although personally, the Audi TT wasn't my favorite, but I'm happy he won. I really wanted either Shli or Sakwa to win by the end of when the drags were ending. But of course,
sorry, please proceed, Kalasinga.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, kunakutoka. Endelea chana na huyo jamaa wa golf. Ni mic yake iko na oil.
I think when the drag started, of course my favorites were Salman, and then for the two-wheel drives, Kinyash. I think Kinyash did a fantastic job. Pamoja na Mavokos, they kept on switching. They were sharing the car basically, and for front-wheel drive cars, they did a fantastic job. Me really enjoyed. I really enjoyed, and I can't wait for the next event. We hope to see more cars. It's unfortunate we didn't see the RS7, we didn't see the Leroy, and we didn't get to see the TZ Evo 8. Those would have also been top contenders for the drags. Yeah. That's it, Alex. Umetoa oil kwa speakers.
Wait, Alex, troll kwa speaker.
Ndio mimi pole. I was the nini had reset.
Anyway, Alex ni kama kuna anyway, ni kama
Kelvin?
Sijui nini inafanyika. Anyway, yeah, for me it was a very, very good
Kelvin,
event.
sikuski.
Alex, umerudi?
Alex, ni Kalasinga anaongea.
Pole nile simskip. Okay, proceed, sorry.
Anyway, ni sawa tu. Kama hajarudi tuendelea tu kuongea. Ama ni mimi ndio niko na network mbaya.
Hapana, ni yeye anadhani ako na DSG na DSG.
But this Kelvin, what happened to the S6? Uliona kama ilifanyika kitu ama ililose ni race? Mimi sikuona ikilose ni race. Na Peter Denu.
Well, I think for the S6 hatukuona ikilose any race particular. My doubts are that ilikuwa ina jump at some point because there's no way your gari ilikuwa ina lose the races, and so chances are high it was jumping the line. So it jump started, I think maybe 2 races ikakuwa knocked out.
Oh, okay. That's but Shli, sijuka Shli yako hapa. Shli alishine bana. Shli. Oh, I think by the time tulikuwa nafika midway in the drugs, Shli na Sako walikuwa my best. Niko nasema they are too consistent. Pia Sako, you know Sako's car, for those who may not know the history, that car was a GTI. It was an edition 35 GTI. He's built the car from a GTI, akafanya all-wheel drive conversion, ikakuwa sort of a Mach 6R, alafu akabuild engine and everything, the full drivetrain, and the car now is delivering results. And you know that car is actually, I think, one of the reliable built Golfs because he actually used it for road trips. Like I think, was it late last year? The guy took it to Moyale. Na gari ilienda na ikarudi. So that's actually quite impressive. Kelvo.
Yeah, I think gari ingine yenye tunafaa kuongelea ni ile gari ya Doc, Mach 6. I think a Doc pia ni Mach 6 GTI converted to a Mach 6R, right?
Ya Doc ilikuwa R from the beginning. Yes.
Yeah.
Ya Doc ilikuwa R from the beginning.
Kalasinga unasikia?
Nakusikia, but I think there's a delay kwa space. Unasikia Kelvo? Peter?
Okay. So I think
we can hear you.
Hey, this
okay,
stretch
very
nice.
nice. Let's try and sort that out. Yeah, nakusikia Kalasinga. So Alex, I think you can come in.
Yeah, my mic is back. So just before we proceed, unanisikia? Kevin? Kevin, please proceed.
Yep. Tunakusikia Alex. Proceed.
Okay, so that's nice. I think I've seen DJ Stretch here. So before that comes in Peter from Yellow Card. If you're here, so they were the sponsors for the event. So Peter, take it away before DJ Stretch.
All right, thank you. So for me, I would like to big up Shli and Gerald
Alex,
Doc.
I don't think if my mic is okay right now. Alex, you want to proceed?
Can you guys hear me?
Bro. Yeah, Peter, please proceed.
Yes, yeah. So personally, I would like to, and as Yellow Card, would like to congratulate Shli and Doc. So Yellow Card, we came in as sponsors, so we are sponsoring Shli and Doc. And for those who don't know, Yellow Card is the largest cryptocurrency exchange platform in Africa, in 20 markets currently. And so we are really proud of the drivers that we sponsored and how they performed. So both drivers put on a very, can I say, remarkable performance. Gerald bagged the fastest time on track, as was mentioned, while Shli took the driver of the day. Definitely, she had a lot of fans by the end of the day, top lady driver. She was position 4 overall. And so as a company, as Yellow Card, we are really proud of them, and we are hoping we can do more stuff in the future. And so the achievement, basically, they were a testament of their talent, dedication, as well as the support they received from their fans. So they had a lot of fans on the ground, as well as Yellow Card. And Yellow Card is, is committed to helping, Kenyan athletes succeed. And we are proud to sponsor Gerald and Shli as they continue to achieve greatness. And personally, I'm looking to see who else we can sponsor if guys are interested in working with us in the future. And in the coming, especially next year, we are trying to see how we can come in big and do much more. So big up to organizers of the event. Big up to MC of the day, Dino Spinners. You did a really good job there. Yeah, you kept us entertained throughout all the, especially Saturday and Sunday. So big up to that. SpaceYaMagari as well. And so we can discuss more as the space continues. But for now, I'll just take this opportunity to big up Shli and Doc. So all the best. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Back to you, Alex.
Thank you so much, Peter, for that. Thank you so much for also, being part of the team and also being part of the sport. I think it's usually a good thing when, corporates like you go into the space and it's basically nurturing talent and capacity building and things like that. Asante sana for that. Do you know your hand is up? Dennis?
Asante sana. Then I just want to at least appreciate and acknowledge all the drivers wenye wametokea kwa space leo, starting with Stretch. Naona wengine najua mwajui, but mi nawajua hapa. Nimeona haya Peter Tangacha PN tuned, mlete hapo juu. Nimeona Luide hapo chini, ndiye alikuwa na Levog. The Levog, the 1.6 liter actually imetuniwa na PN. So all the drivers wenye wako hapa, kina Jere, tafadhali mchangieni mjadala bana. Nyinyi mlikuwa kwa action, nyinyi ndio mlikuwa the drivers, mtupatie experiences yenye mlipata. Mimi nilikuwa tu na MC pale ninaangalia from a side, but nyinyi the challenges zenye mlipata, mbona gari zilikuwa zina fail. Luide mazina kuona hapo PN, tupatieni maoni yenu. Jere, tupatieni maoni yenu vile siku ilikuwa. Kinyash na kuona hapa, tukuje pale kwa speakers, alafu ndio hii conversation ikue wase wenye wakuenda, wenye walikuja hawajui kulienda aje, kupata nafasi ya kuongea na one of the drivers. Is the time space at least Alex hapo na Kelvo watu wawapatie nafasi mweze kupiga hii story to get from the horse's mouth. Alafu just a suggestion, Shli anafaa kubadilisha username, itwe Shli Can Drive. Thanks. Kevo, nanipata?
Yeah, nakupata
live and clear.
Alex.
Alright.
Hata madereva nimeona hadi Shli hapa.
Shli akuje hapa, kila mtu madere wote wakuje hapa wakutika. Bana
wasipige.
Wamejileta wote.
So,
let's start with Stretch since you're the first one here. Stretch.
Yes.
I don't know how to start this conversation. Take it away.
What's up, guys? Ndio tunaamka. Yeah, so what an event. I was a reveler like Deno. I didn't drive, of course, for obvious reasons. Lisa alileta mashida. I think I'd posted like a week and a half ago. The engine died. But big up to guys yesterday. It was such an awesome weekend. Big up to Shli. Madam, umejaribu sana. But for me, that turnout, I was feeling FOMO from the beginning, man. I really wished I had the opportunity to participate, but I think everything happens for a reason. So lessons learned. Lessons learned. So now it's just to pick up from where we've left and plan for next year. But yeah, that's all I have to say, Mate.
Alex, I think as Alex, I think maybe ameenda kufanya shughuli ya kiasi, but yeah, so I think thank you so much Stretch. I think gari yako ni gari yenye most of us, if not all of us, tulikuwa tunangoja
So
kuiona
even before you go, let me just take you back. You so example, this weekend you've sat on your seat which you normally sit on, and you've done really well. Kevo?
Alex, I think you have a delay.
Anatusikia ama?
I think Alex hayuko. Kevo, unaweza endelea?
Well, I can finish also. Yes, to be honest, I've never felt. Hey, man, my DM. I was telling guys, man, I have like 150 DMs from people in just sheer disappointment. Maze. Wow, nimehandle the whole weekend. Everybody's like, bro, Lisa, hata kwa bashi ya mapiano maze, huo mse wa sound ananiambia tu bro Lisa, bro. Man, these things happen. So it's I'm sorry. It was very unfortunate, but ngoje next year.
Yeah, loud and clear. Nakusikia poa sana.
Yeah, I think Alex mic yako I think iko na delay. Ama Pete.
Yeah, Alex iko na delay.
Okay, so I think so Stretch, I think gari yako, as I said, I was saying earlier, it was one of the favorite cars we could have on track, because I think 2 weeks ago, if not 3, you recorded the second fastest draggy. So could you tell us about that, like how you came, you went, you set a timings, get your timing. I think it was 10 point something. So Stretch, so unaweza tuambia about that, you becoming second fastest on draggy.
Yes. So in fact, I was actually preparing for Masinga. So I'd gone, I'd cleaned the car, stripped it out. So I was going to do like a final test. Ile tu ya mwisho tu ndio
ensure tu these things happen.
Yeah, just to ensure gari iko sawa. So I put draggy, I put my laptop.
Proceed, Kevin.
So I do. It's Kevo.
Yeah, Stretch and the
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So I plug in draggy, I plug in my laptop. I do the first one. It gave me a 10.4. Which put me number 2 in Kenya, in front of that BMW bike. Anyways, so I decided to do a second pull, and then mambo ilienda tu sengemleg. I just saw fire. So after dismantling the car and looking at my logs, actually my meth pump died. So I actually leaned out and melted one piston number 4. And also an injector of mine clogged for some very strange reason. So injector number 4 also clogged up. So car remained on open loop and just open loop lambda. So it just leaned out and one piston number 4 completely died. Yeah, but we did 10.4 without meth. So I can guarantee you that there will be more to come next year. For sure. For sure. Power to the 4 cylinders. Thanks.
I think we don't have Kevo, and we also have a lag from Alex. So I'm just going to.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting some feedback from Kevin. I'm sorting that one out. Thank you so much for that Stretch. So I think I'll just go to Shli as I sort the audio issues, but kindly bear with me. I'm trying to fix that as fast as possible. Shli, if you're here and if I'm audible for you, please go for it.
Thank you. Just a quick one. What am I supposed to answer? Sorry.
Actually, there's no question for you. You just start anywhere you feel like. One, you're the only lady on track. Two, how does it feel like to be top 4? 3, wow, like that was quite a performance. So you can start anywhere you feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the event started out interestingly. Obviously the first day was Gymkhana. Had the nerves on there. I mean, everyone was doing some good times and I was doing some not so good times, and I'm like, I was just going to study how people are taking the cones, like what's the line, trying to understand how I can do better, how I can improve. Then finally, in the last heat, that's when now I started getting results that kind of started to make sense. So yeah, I mean, I just beat myself up around like, the slow learning curve. But I think, technical courses are like really fun because you get to gauge how much more you can do and how better you can grow as you're doing the course. And I was just like, yeah, it just like hits me just how awesome. Okay, not hit me. It hit me again just how awesome should I say, like Formula One drivers are, just like how on point they are with like the breaking points and everything. So I was like, hey, yeah, those guys are like gods in driving. Anyways, I digress. Let me get back. So that was the first day. Then now on Sunday, obviously, like I knew I had to try and redeem myself because I only got like one good time on Saturday. So I think for me it was just like keeping my head down and trying to do the best that I could. And what many people don't know, actually, the car had issues from the get-go. When we were driving down to Masinga on Sunday, we were just like doing logs. And we noticed like there was a misfire in cylinder 234. Still trying to figure out what was happening there, but ideally it wasn't 100% really. So it was just like, okay, it was down to the car is not optimal. We know that it can do much more, but it's just that at a point of, okay, let's work with the package that we have. By the time we wanted to do logs, the event was already starting. So it was just like, you know what, let's just go for it. And obviously, Gabby, the tuner for Gamora, under Ballerina Performance, just like, ensured everything was on point, told me to, go for it. Obviously, there are power cuts, but yeah, I mean, you drive what you bring, as Stretch likes to say. And yeah, the rest, I guess, was history. So yeah, I mean, it was just like super fun for me. Having a car that kind of performs is good because I think it's ultimately the chemistry between the driver that brings results. So yeah, I mean, it was super fun. The entire journey has been great. Like I remember most of the time I just find Stretch in the garage, Rescue Garage. Really shout out to Rescue Garage. We were trying to just like get the car up to the spot that it should be. What other interesting experiences there? Oh yeah, like there was smoke blowing off of my exhaust the first day. So I was just like, oh my gosh, white smoke, turbo god. But ideally it was just like, burning of oil going on. So I'll be seeing Stretch after this to hook me up with some remedy for that. But ideally it was super fun. Had massive support from the guys there. I think the crowds were super supportive, which I think is really awesome, especially for ladies who are trying to come up in the scene, because it was like a thoroughly male-dominated sport. Like you just see like during the driver's briefing, men, and then just like one girl trying to figure out, okay, how does this thing work? But yeah, it was super fun, I would say. And also there's a lot of support from the drivers, very helpful, giving tips. So I think the community is a good space for women as well to join. And yeah, again, big shout out as well to She Can Drive. I think they are at the forefront of, just like championing that, yeah, girls can understand cars, can get to enjoy their cars, and be in that space which is traditionally masculine, traditionally masculine. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. And yeah, finally, Balerion performance, for bringing the cup to speed. We promise that there'll be so much more that's coming from Gamora. We have big plans for it, so let's see how it goes. Maybe we won't have to wait for next year, because right now everyone does the draggy. So we'll see how well Gamora can do once everything is working optimally as we intended it to work. So yep, that's it. Back to you, Alex.
Thank you so much for that. And just out of sheer curiosity, do you think ladies should join motorsport more? So that you have basically more bragging rights. And what would you tell, obviously, there are other ladies, women, and the entire stretch saying they like cars, they're into fast cars, they have fast cars. Kuna that kafia, it's a male dominated sport, and I think, if I'm not wrong, this is your first appearance. I might be wrong, and you've obviously performed how you've performed, which is really well. And what would you say to someone who'd come to you and say, hey Maze, you've performed really well, how do I get to your level as a lady, as a woman, and things like that?
Yeah, so actually, surprisingly, this is my third ever event. So my first event was, I don't know if it's 2018 or 2019. So before this, I was driving a Mach 6 GTI. So had done a few mods. By mods here, I mean had just changed the wheels, gotten potenzas which were a bit grip, they have a soft compound, so they grip a bit better. Had some brakes on, had an exhaust system, and a downpipe and an intake. So I was like, you know what, let me just go understand how whistling Morans is. And I think from there, now that's where the love for these events started to grow. After that, I didn't do any other event, because I was like, yeah, I need to build a car, etc. So second event was Masinga TT. I think that was on May this year. And then now this is my third, now officially a full fledged event. That's Gymkhana and drugs this was my first. And I would say for any lady who wants to join, I think, I told a bunch of guys yesterday, just go for it. There's really, I don't say the world is do not limit yourself. Just go for it, even if it's a male dominated sport. Obviously you need to work hard, right? Because we've seen people coming into the sport, there's a lady here, a lady there, but for how do I put it? For not even really the recognition, but ideally for you need to put in the work as well. You just can't show up. And as well for me, and this is also advice for myself, because guys are doing crazy things, guys are doing crazy times even in Gymkhana. We also need to see girls being in the top 5 out there, maybe even competing with Moses, Mwendwa, or the guys who are really good at Gymkhana, Mustafa or Leroy. We need to get into those spaces, and that can only come through work. So I would say, don't be afraid. With whatever tool you have, just use it, understand it as best as you can, and show up. Really, it's a male-dominated sport, but if you have that determination, you'll be able to do well. So for all the ladies who are listening in, come into the sport. It's super fun. Obviously, there are many heartbreaks. Many a times you have to do a lot of research on your car, why is it behaving like this, etc. But that's just part of the process. And when everything is working, it's such a beautiful feeling. And I know that, many of the drivers here will agree with me. It just is a thrilling it's a thrilling experience. Heartbreaks, money, etc. But at the end of the day, just that thrill when you get into the car and it does what you had hoped and envisioned for it to do. It's super fun. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Lee. I mean, you're an amazing person. I've met you in person, and keep shining. She can drive. Mnasikia aje? Najua sasa mko na bragging rights for days. Acha kutuma emoji. Sema kile unasema.
Very funny, Alex. Hi everyone, hoping you're good. Actually, I was just on speaker here just in case Shli wasn't able to join in. That's why I was just on standby. I didn't attend, but I was rooting for Shli, rooting for Dazi Auto. And, unfortunately, I feel bad for the JDMs. That's where my heart lies. Lakini, where GDMs are thriving, we also give them their flowers. What else did I want to say? I was literally just here on standby in case she is not able to join in. But I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of all the ladies also who are interested in the sport. And as she has said, it's a lot of hard work and a lot of research. And I think a lot of money. Because even owning a Golf R, I always tell Shli every other day that, this is your hard work. So, you can bask in it. Let no one tell you anything. So, I think this just calls to show that it's an inspiration to all of us. And we can start from somewhere. So, yeah. I wouldn't take it as bragging rights, but let's take it as a win for all of us, ladies especially, in the motorsport scene. Yeah.
Asante sana for that, and thank you so much for gracing us and always preparing us and having this conversation and championing ladies being in this sort of setup. Services nawaona hapa, please come. So as they set up, Kinyash, also I'm sending you the mic right now. I think you should be having it. Yeah, Kinyash, naona ulikimbiza M235 mbana. Mimi kama jamaa ya BMW I'm not happy. Mimi kama mtu wa SpaceYaMagari I'm extremely happy. So Kinyash, go for it. Wait, kwani JDM hamna maspika ndani ya gari?
Okay, Kinyash? Alex, you want to speak. I tabia mbaya sana.
All right, so as Kinyash sets up, services, welcome. Services, if you're here, just kindly unmute and go for it. Aya. Anto, your hand is up. I know ulikuwa umezima half the time. Juu uko naamini.
Okay, just kwa side yangu ama I'm just nasikia space katika mara tena si huko kwa space tena niko, so just check on your side Alex. Then sijui kaa ni pande yangu ama ni everyone, nasikia kukuwa na hitilafu mahali. Check on that, I'll come back Alex.
Nakusikia poa Anto. Deno, can you hear me? Deno Spina?
Yeah, nakusikia.
Perfect. Sawa.
Nakusikia.
Jamaa JDM waaminiki then. Sawa. Lazima nimalize hii wakora yote. Anto.
Alex.
Wewe Anto sikusikii.
Okay, let me just check juu na wasikia late, so I think services can go and tutakuja time ya chaos. You can see FPS na rudi.
Sawa. Services, the mic is with you. First of all, congrats on your new shop. I think it's on Kiambu Road. Please correct me on this. I know your old shop where it was, and I know how big, bigger space means. It means you plan to bring the noise. So yeah, services, the mic is with you. Please go for it. I think we're having connection issues again. Let me just sort that. Kevo?
Yeah, I think connectivity ndio inasumbua kidogo, but I think watu wakisha set up itarudi, because I think hata Kinyash pia namwona kwa requested tab bado is still connecting. I think we'll at it. Maybe Shli anaweza tuambia about her car, because I think Shli tulikuwa naye pale holding and she told me about her naming her car. So Shli, nazambia tu Marty why say you picked a green wrap and you named your car Gamora.
Yeah, so most people would say like I'm a geek. I'm really not. I just love comics. So Guardians of the Galaxy, there's this character called Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana. If you've watched the movies, so obviously like everyone was like, "What is Gamora?" Right? And that's just like shows how low-key the character is. But for those of us who follow it, Gamora is the daughter of Thanos. And yeah, I mean, she was conditioned to be like a lethal weapon by all of us know Thanos. So ideally, that was the thinking behind it. She's green in color. I went for the green wrap, just to kind of speak to the over and above the color. She also is a conditioned lethal weapon that has like crazy reflexes. So that's ideally the thinking behind Gamora being the personality of the car. Yeah, so it's more like if you know from those like those movie epics. Yeah. Shout out to Denning by the
Omsako down bad. You can't shout him up.
Yeah, ako down kabisa. Hebu sema.
Gari yake hata ina AC. Denning,
anit mai kujitetea.
Si hata mwache nisifiwe jamini. Hey. Wacha kwanza amalize alafu mwanze kuhate.
Denning uko down.
Shli kindly continue with your kind words. Achana nao my haters.
Yeah, Denning. Wewe nitakuja kimkani. Yeah.
Sasa na hiyo ni ndoto.
alright Denning, now that tumetajwa, go for it.
Anza hata sikusikia compliment manze.
Tutakutumia recording.
Nini aje guys?
Tuko fiti man. Tuambie mbona unafanya gymkhana peke yake ufanye drugs mzee?
Siko na kuibisha Shli. Unajua tumetoka mbali manze, si ni mabase.
Ana pesa block.
So as a Luya community tulikuja pamoja tukaamua mimi nita represent wa Luya gymkhana, alafu I should take the mantle for drugs, and clearly we were doing very very well. Alafu tukapea TJ mantle ya kushainia any other car within the area na GTR ya Jere. So it was a Luya thing. Tulikuwa tumepanga msitens, but all in all the event was fine. To be very fair, everyone that niliongelesha knew that my main goal was completing gymkhana and coming back home. I wasn't really keen on drugs because one, gari likata race tune because of a few issues here and there. I tried scumming it, but bado likina kata kidogo. So the moment that I completed gymkhana, I was very very happy with the car's performance, and the times were quite decent. Though nilikuwa nafanya vitu zangu huko ndani, but yeah, it was a very very decent lap, and yeah, next year for sure nitafanya drugs and gymkhana. Yeah.
Well, I think You and KJ, I think you're really doing an amazing job on the 444. Only that wewe tu umesema hutaki kupush gari sana, but I think maybe endelea kufanya more preps, usikue muoga sana. I think the fear factor kind of ina-consume deni.
Anaweza push gari alafu kesho akwenda koti Kakamega. Itabidi apanda mkika.
Mwambie push gari urban retro. Hiyo tu. That is where he draws the line.
Man, I thought we were friends.
We are best of friends. Don't worry.
We are not. Maybe then I could block Sai. I am done with your shit. Na kublock immediately. But yeah, thanks. Mimi na KJ by the way tumekuwa tukiangalia gari for quite some time. So yeah, naangalia the tuning aspect of it. Alafu mimi inaniflex mfuko the mechanical bit of it. But all in all, I think it's good progress. Whatever's remaining is actually very, very little for na nikishabadilisha hiyo, then it's practically going to be almost new. Yeah, and at the end of the day, I say there's no point of kuharakisha mambo ya tuning and all those kind of things. Unapeleka gari kwa event and then the worst happens, something like gari toko ama you break something. If again, it depends on your financial status because we're not all the same. Kuna mse gari tavunja drive shaft tu kwa gari kwa flatbed rudi Nairobi, but also you see not everyone is capable of doing that, so you have to be very, very careful with how you deal with your car, how you tune it, how you drive it. I wouldn't necessarily say that I was soft on it. Ni vile tu sikuwa na launch. But yeah, I really MSG. Ni vile tu unajua gari yako basically and your goals and your targets. But yeah, all in all it's always a matter of having fun. Mimi nilijibamba. Na alafu sijui kama Alpha kwa hapa. Tajiri wangu alikataa kunisponsor. SpaceYaMagari walikataa kunisponsor. Nimewamark. I have marked all of you. Yeah. But anyway, next time na go hard.
Tulihama JDM.
So
tunasposa Kinyash pekee.
Nikibuy Audi
ukinua golf tuma papers we might reconsider.
I'll work on that. And by the way, I forgot to tell everyone who's here who's a driver, thanks for cooperating. As officials, we had a very easy time organizing the event, basically dealing with everything drivers. It was very, very easy for us. Everyone was on time, and even during the track hits, akukwana a lot of misbehaving. So we thank all of you for that, and also the spectators who came. They made our job very, very easy. And to be very fair, it was like event is organized, because I remember even on Sato we were supposed to do 3 hits only, but we finished so early to the point that we had an additional hit, which means that everything was actually going according to plan. And as you know, as part of Club TT, I could say it was a very successful event, and we thank everyone that came. Yeah. And nilitaka kukwambia basically congrats, you did an amazing job. I mean, half of the time on Sunday nilikuwa zombie, but you really did a good job on Sunday. And by the FYI, wale wasiwatu walisema Shlia anaweza ni beat, nilimtandika Jimkana by the vibaya sana. So kindly, Mandy, wherever you are, take that down.
Without a video, that is just pure lies.
Exactly, 100%. If there was no video or evidence, then it never happened. Sorry, Shli.
Dude, you're a lawyer. You should know that.
He doesn't.
Oh, you're a fake lawyer.
Oh, sorry. Can I just say something really quickly?
Go for
Benny,
it,
is it possible for you to plug in Urban Retro before you forget? Thank you.
By the way, we're having Urban.
What do you mean? Oh, by the way, dude, be serious.
Be serious, as in honestly, surely.
Hata sijatoa suti. I'm taking my time.
Only fake lawyer.
So we're having a Urban Retro Festival on the 26th of November 2023. That's next month. And it's kawaida tu inakuwa vibes. It's a very, very good event, social event. Now I personally talked to most of the drivers who were at Masinga this weekend, and like 95% gave me the word that they're going to be coming for Urban Retro. So all you guys who didn't manage to go to Masinga TT, if you guys manage to come to Urban Retro, you'll get the opportunity to, interact with the drivers, see their cars up close, because najua si kila msa angeza kumake it kufika Masinga, but I took the initiative to make sure that we bring the cars to you over here in Nairobi. So right now the tickets are going for 850 bob only, so it's very, very cheap, and it's going to be a very, very interactive event. At the same time, we're going to be celebrating 10 years of Club TT. We'll just do something small because Kina K have done a very, very good job when it comes to organizing these racing events and making it quite reachable to us guys who can participate in rally. So mketu rada event nakuja on the 26th of next month. Definitely be doing marketing. We'll be reminding you guys as often as possible, so tell a friend to come by. We'll be having, I think Urban Retro is one of the events that brings almost every guy from Twitter to one place. We put faces. One of our hashtags nakwanga putting face to the names, because like Twitter is just basically talking about opinions and receiving comments and all that, but with Urban Retro now we meet in person. Thanks to Urban Retro, a lot of guys have made friendships, have made networks, and it goes a long way, because you never know, you might meet at an event, but it can go a very, very long way. So kila msako invited manze, mkam tujibambe. We'll have the live show as usual. We'll have a lot of banter here and there, and
Endelea.
hata umeshabu, but so basically we're looking forward to seeing you guys. Urban Retro is a very good event, and the guys that we partnered with are very, very good people. Tuko na tajiri wangu, tuko na She Can Drive, we have SpaceYaMagari, we have Lady Waithera, and in addition to that, there's motorsports marshals, Ferrari Media, and it's actually brands that have come together to do something nice. And furaha yetu niko na wasa kijibamba basically, so we hope to see all you guys there.
Okay, so shukran sana Denny. I think we all have heard it from him on the 26th of November. That's next month, almost exactly a month from now. Tunaenda pale Stedmark Karen. So msikia nunua tickets hizi, so I've pinned the tweet pale on the nest. Click on that link. Buy your tickets at 850 bob saizi before 31st of this month, and then tukutane Urban Retro. So Ashley, your hand was up for quite some time. You have the mic.
Sorry, just wanted to mention something really quickly. Just a special shout out obviously to everyone who turned out and offered their support. I think it was really awesome, as any driver would loves that kind of support, and I think the crowd was just really supportive of everyone, so that was really cool. Special shout out as well to Yellow Card for their sponsorship. I think this opens up avenues for drivers to achieve their dream builds, so thank you so much Yellow Card for that support, and looking forward to future partnerships coming up in the next event. So and also thanks Club TT Denning for doing an amazing scrutineering on Gamora. You are very hard on her, but ni sawa tu. Next year Gymkhana, ngoja acha niende niive hizo 2 seconds, we will shed them.
Wait, 2 seconds is a lot bwana.
Nilimwacha na 9 seconds. 2 seconds nikusema 9.
No.
Wait, then is letter evidence bwana.
Correct. Let's take up. Tukuje next year.
Wewe bwana, nyinyi mnanipea enemies. Shili achana nao watu. It's us against the world. Achana nao.
Lakini drugs is where you draw the line. All right, Denning. Good night.
Malisa.
Unajua I was big.
Wewe mnaenable jamaa bwana.
shideni ni you're taking my humility for weakness. Unajua siku nataka niaibishe watu, so nikaona tu on Sunday wacha tu ni relax, ni enjoy, niongeleshe wase, na pia pressure mazi shida drugs that always enjoy. So my Sunday dedicated to talking to people and meeting people as compared to kuwa na pressure drugs. However, next year
So simame MCA wa Masinga basi, talking to people for who?
Kivu nongevo vile ulifurahi kuniona. Sasa jifanya hapa bonzo.
Furahi kuona kwa wewe. So yeah.
We Denny, we ngoja tunakurudia. So obviously we have Kinyash from Dazi Auto, someone that we sponsored for this. Pia si ma sponsor by the way. We are heavy people. Hata ka Denny anaongea vile anataka na nilitumia request.
Lakini before endele just a very quick question
Takuchapa.
Hii criteria ku sponsor ni gani? Niko na talent, niko na gari. Ni nini nilikosa?
We don't trust
Tabo, una dance kwa bump. Una dance kwa bump. Acha ku dance kwa bump kwanza.
Ni Tabo ulikosa.
I need new friends.
Wewe unataka tukusponsor na 2 weeks before the event, kwa like sika sure kana kuja. Wewe bana.
Inaitwa anticipation, You don't let your enemies know your next move. Unaona?
And clearly you never moved. Anyway.
Hey.
Good night.
Monday nilikoseaje?
We, you three mdiamiane na huko. Denny. Anyway, so we have Kinyash from Dazi Auto, guys of Overpowered Starlet. So this was actually made possible by SpaceYaMagari, Dazi Auto themselves, Tajiri wangu, Gari C, and obviously my usual legends, Mobitaya, i.e. Lee. And we sort of came together and, go into motorsport as well, sponsor a team, and see where this goes. So I'd just like to hear also the same from Kinyash. There's a video of them wakikimbiza BMW. I'm very saddened by that as an individual, but as a co-founder of Space, I'm really happy because wajamu at least at least JDM moja ilikimbiza watu. So yeah, Kinyash, go for it.
This is Kinyash from Dazi Auto. So I think before I start, just give a big shout out to SpaceYaMagari, especially for the sponsorship of the event. Gari C, we're opening a new platform in about 38 days. So keep that in mind. There's also Mobitaya and Demand Octane. Yeah, so those are our sponsors for the event. I think the event went quite well. For Masinga, normally I go to basically try and dominate in Gymkhana because as you all know, I mean, we're running small turbos as compared to people who are there on tracks here. So on Saturday I managed, my best time was about 77.2 seconds, which was at least sub 80. I was happy, and I think my average was about 78 for the whole event. On Sunday, Mavo's car also decided not to work, so basically the shaft came off, so we just decided to do a temporary fix so that it can drive home. So we shared the car. That's why the car had 2 numbers, 41 and 42, and I think we did more than 15 hits if I can count, and that car still held on. I don't even understand how I was able to drive it home, and I still drove it and boosted probably all the way. Car still works. I've used it today. So I mean, shout out to Letty. She's called Letty. Yeah. So all in all, yeah, I had quite a good time.
Thank you so much for that, Kinyash. Obviously we are hoping to see you again next time, and next time bado tutakuwa sites. Tunafaa kusign those lifetime sponsorship deals na wewe tayari. Ndio tutoke denim kabisa ya ukweli. Anyway, I mean, congrats to you.
I am God willing, I will participate in all the tarmac racing events. And there's big plans for the Starlet, especially from next season. So just watch out.
We will be there. So watu wa Starlet, msilose hope, bado at least Starlet zinashikilia JDM sahi. This is a message directed to where's this Uja Mamarangi. and we, both two rangy people, Junkyard and Pete. So for that, I see someone from Yellow Card, Almarula. If you're here, the mic is with you. Just a quick intro.
No. Yellow card.
Albert from Club TT.
Oh
He's
yes,
from Club
from
TT.
Yellow Card. Pole. Nani
I'm
ananisumbua Jumala, nataka
TT
niende
damu.
nivute.
Yes, sema.
Poa sana. Go for it.
Mhm. So yeah,
Ngoja kwanza, ulikuwa?
Alikuwa. Alikuwa na yeye.
Wow. Mimi sikumuona.
Anyway,
Welcome by Albert.
I think we need a reintroduction about Club TT. Right now, Club TT is composed of about 10 officials, which, yes, I'm one of them. Denning. Okay, do you want me to name them? Because it seems there's a little confusion.
Relax, I know you. Can I take Denning's spot? He can't even run.
Anyway,
Bwana,
so I'm
irreplaceable bwana. Alimebwambia watu.
Kabisa. So anyway, I am so happy that it's over, of course, because we did this for about 4 months. I think people sometimes underestimate what event organizing is. There is a lot that happens behind the scenes. And so, yeah, we conquered. And, thanks to all the people who participated, I think in my mind, I knew there were going to be a lot of people, but I actually, was so surprised to see all those people I haven't seen for a long time. I mean, people coming from way far. Like, we had people from Mbeya in Tanzania, which is about 1,400 kilometers to Nairobi, Dar es Salaam, Kampala, Iringa, all those, places. And they came and participated. Most of them have gone back, have arrived in their countries, and, we're very thankful for them. Yeah, so it was very, very tiring, but we are happy. Yeah.
I know event planning, especially one out of town, is a mess. Could you just walk us through, just making sure guys will actually come, guys will enjoy, guys will go, and everyone will be safe? Like, if you can just walk us through as Club TT, and how much you need to do that we don't even get to see.
Yeah, so we have different departments. I mean, we have security, we have the marshals department, we have the scrutineering, we have the guys who look for sponsorships. And, generally someone like me, I think I just do, overall. Yeah, so we, checking through all those departments is, you can imagine, like in terms of security, we have to write letters to the county, telling them that, notifying them that we're going to have an event. That's just the county. We have to do the police, I think they're called county commissioners nowadays, notify them. Actually, it's like asking permission to do the event. And then we have to, the most important is writing to TARDA, which is the Tana River. Yeah, anyway, the people who are in charge of the Masinga Dam and the airstrip to have the event at a certain date, which we normally have to wait for them to give us, an approval to have the event before we even start writing the name Masinga Dam Resort. We cannot even use the name Masinga Dam name until we get approval from TARDA. So once we get approval, then we now go to the county guys. We tell them we're going to have an event on a certain date. The county commissioners, the Masinga police, just notify them also. And, in case there are any fees we have to pay, we ask for the ambulance and the fire brigade from the county. So once those are sorted, when we're doing that, then now we start looking for sponsorships as we set up, the whole ticketing system. And then now after that is now going down to, nitty-gritties of the event, which by the way is a lot. Let me tell you guys, that group, we chat from morning to late in the morning, just about a lot of stuff that we need to check around on our checklist. So yeah, basically that's it, because we have to also do budgets for everything that we need to do. So when we do our budget, we have to look for that money, because if we don't look for that money and extras, event haitaenda vizuri. Yeah, and we have to also do areke, because every year sometimes things are different. You have a certain amount of vendors, you have to kind of know where they'll be. Like this time we had bleacher seats, so we have to know where that will be. If it's a timing equipment, it has to be tested before, so that we are kind of sure that that's the equipment that we need to do. Yeah, so, and then also the funniest thing is that sometimes people will not know, but for now the people coming from outside the country, we are in contact with them from like the time they're doing the planning, and especially me, because I think I have a relationship with these people. I visit their countries very often. I visit a lot of the events. Like I was at TT. TT were actually 2 Kenyans, me and Kim Tuna. And so I've had a very good relationship with them. Many people will even say, I would want to move into that country, like Tanzania, and then also Uganda. And so when they're coming, from the time they're at the border, in case they have an issue, we try and assist them. If they have any issue when they're inside the country, we also try to assist them. We make sure they're fine. We've given them, even if we won't be able to give them accommodation, but we'll try to make sure that we make their stay seamless. Yeah, so basically that's it, and probably more that I've forgotten about, but that's more on the event planning.
Thank you so much, Alma. That 100% opens possibilities, and we know how much you guys do. We see what you do, but you don't know how much you do in the background. And thank you so much for bringing the spot. And as SpaceYaMagari, we're always happy to have these conversations, to always work with you guys to make sure the sport is growing, and capacity is built, and we always have fun while doing this. So asante sana, so much Alma, you guys, and Denning, you guys are doing so much, and thank you so much for that, and this has been amazing.
Thank you.
I think before Alma goes, Alex,
go for it.
I think Alma, most of the people may not know, but this was the 10 years existence of Club TT. So could you kindly maybe give us a rundown of what to expect from Club TT moving forward? Because after 10 years of holding successful car events, what is it in store for us as the fans from Club TT?
Well, I think, we'll just continue our best to just give better and bigger events. We want, more people to participate from East Africa. We want even probably one time have to do it, go to another country, also participate in the events in the future. So, it's just, we hope for bigger and better.
Okay, great. So I think that's great to hear that. And Jana, I didn't see Kay or Shira yesterday. Hakuwa Jana?
No, I probably even most people didn't even see me yesterday. The exhaustion. Honestly, I feel like since Thursday, most of us had not slept even. I was making fun and saying that we got to Masinga on Friday afternoon, and personally, I did not even sleep inside my bed. I sat next to a chair and I had things that I was doing the whole night. By the time some Tanzanians arrived at 6 a.m, I just nilienda tu nikawapokea because I had not slept. So you can imagine being in that harsh weather on Saturday. Yesterday, I think most of us were just sitting somewhere and watching things run. But even me, I did not see K yesterday. He did not see me, but I knew he was around. So he was there. I'm sure some of you might have seen him.
Denning alikuwa lala kwa gari nilimuona.
Tulikuwa na usingizi, utovu and everything. Actually, I think most officials walikuwa tu jana. By the way, the funniest thing is that this year, I probably did not watch most races. And that's not me. So I think this year there was a lot that was happening around planning that it actually took a toll on us yesterday. I even left home around 5 p.m., which is unlike me. I was ready to go. And usually we even stay in Masinga up to the night to finish some stuff. So probably he was just taking a few rests here and there, but he was so much around. In fact, he slept in Masinga and left today because, of course, there's usually also things that you need to finalize with Masinga Dam Resort, their bills to be paid and stuff. So he was very much around.
Okay, so I think
just 1 second. In addition to what Alma said, I think we should give a very, very big shout out to Club TT directors. We have Kewashiro, of course. We have Hingawayaki. Tuko na Jemo. So these guys, they make things happen. And of course, Alma. By the way, me at Jemo show. If you're planning to do events, you need an Alma in your life. Alma really helps a lot in the group.
Yes.
And also other officials have TJ. We have Jason as well. It's a very, very good team. And as much as it's a small team, I get to learn a lot from them because I'm the youngest. And
When intern.
I'm there, good relax. Yeah, so basically what Alma is saying is very true. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. And that's why whenever the event's a success, everyone from that team is always happy because it's just more than racing. It's more of, there's a racing, there's ensuring that everyone who's attended the event is comfortable. We have also to ensure that people are entertained, both on the driver's side and on the spectator side. And what Alma is saying is true. Actually, if anything, I think Minon Kona the least engaging job out of all of us. But mi nilikuwa nimebeat. Mi kwanza, akina Alpha and Esna saw me on Sunday. I was exhausted, I was dehydrated. Yani, all I could do ni kuongelesha wase. But honestly, I don't even think I get fit as a driver. Because we wake up very early in the morning. Ashley can tell you, like, drivers, scrutineering will go from Saturday. Okay, I got there on Friday. Scrutineering was on Saturday from 6:30 a.m. until around 8 a.m. So for us, being officials doing that, in a mansion, umeamka by, let's say, 5:45-ish. At 6, when I prepare, we went to the track. I didn't even have breakfast. Alafu, kimaza scrutineering, the races zishaanza. So it's a lot of work behind the scenes. But we enjoy doing it because at the end of the day, this is what we love as a hobby. And supporting guys like Kina K ni mse wangu mbaya. I mean, it was mbali in this car scene. And I owe him a lot to where I am right now. So, it feels good that, helping him succeed in this field. And even when we see everyone else attending such an event and actually enjoying it, it's what brings us joy. So, big shout out to everyone in the Club TT team. Apart from, and then also everyone when they attend, apart from Kina Esna na of course Kevo. Kevo tuko tunakuhitaji by the way.
Ako down baddest.
Kevo alikuja kutafuta game, hata kuja kwa
na ile kofia yake na straw kabadi.
Alafu akina tu kamera sha smile. Kevo si kila siku ni paparazzi.
Ako chini. So thank you for that, Denning and Alma. So what were events? Tafuteni Alma. Apparently
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
She's the man or something like that. Or rather, say. So thank you for that, Denning and Alma. That's really insightful. And it's good to know that, 10 years, you've obviously had your learnings, you've seen the experience, you've also seen the game grow from 300 shillings to now 3,000 bob and things like that. And it's also good to see that, as Club TT, you're also looking into doing, inter-country, if a sort of a circuit from East African things like that. And yeah, it's normally good to also invite the neighbors. And I think also that you've mentioned that there's a time at DATT that there were only 2 Kenyans. It's also time, I think, for us to also look at also going down there, so that we start competing internationally, so to speak. So to Club TT, asanteni sana. You guys are great. So I think I'll jump to Lurit before I go to services. So Lurit, I think you had a question, if you're here.
Great, thank you so much. I hope you can hear me.
Perfectly well, yes, go for it.
Hello. Okay, great. Oops, my voice is kind of gone because of that event. It's been awesome. And I think I actually just have 2 questions. One is particularly to Alma. I could see that the event had people from Uganda, Tanzania, and all these particular people. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because I work a lot with government, the East African community, as well as the African Union now, a lot in dynamics to do with policy engagements and looking at how to support different industries. And a lot of conversation that's been going on within our respective space is the idea of supporting the creative industry. So looking at where you come from as an organizer and looking at the fact that you heavily organize within the sports industry, that is the car scene itself, do you feel a lot of genuine support from the government level? And that's in terms of, the county work that you're trying to when you try to reach out to county officials and anything of the sort. But beyond that, even looking at trying to engage people from different countries, do you see a lot of, governmental support? And that's like ministries of immigration and all this kind of people in trying to bring people together for the kind of event. Because I could notice that a lot of the people that were attending from Tanzania and Uganda were more or less drivers, but not necessarily spectators. If at all accurate support was given from, let's say, AU, EAC, and all these people, do you feel like it would actually open up avenues for you to participate effectively in, making this event as big as you actually envision it to be? So that is to Club TT and the organizers in itself. Then the second question, I could see a very interesting dynamic as well with different artists. I could see Deno emceeing and really crafting his art really well. I could see SpaceYaMagari present, Tajiri Wangu, Denning with his idea of urban retro and everything. And then there's Shli with, is it She Can Drive? I'm not sure. But then there's everybody with a different kind of sport. What really keeps you going in this space? And honestly speaking, like, what would you really tell different people who intend to support you and people who intend to keep watching this art? And how do you remain dominant in this kind of space, regardless of the fact that it doesn't entirely always get support from, let's say, the people that I was talking about in my first question? So yeah, I think I'll hand it back to you, but those are largely my question. But Alma, it would be great if I could hear from you when it comes to the first question, because it would be really nice for advocacy purposes and looking at how to collaborate in trying to create a better regional dynamic. And I'm happy to support in that now that I sit in the EAC Parliament as well as the AU dynamics on sports and the creative industry. Thanks.
Okay, thanks for the questions. So now, when it comes to the government or county support, first, when we wrote, like this time, when we wrote a letter to them asking them for, notifying them of the event, we also went to the tourism department just to ask them for certain support. But unfortunately, there's always that sometimes thing that you get from the county, like, we don't have budgets for it. And so we had asked, but maybe what I can say from most of the things that we asked them for support in, we got, some fees waived off for a road show that we did around Machakos County. So, we are grateful for their support. They gave us the ambulance and the fire truck. as they always do for also the Machakos events that we normally have. So I think we could do more with the county. There's so much more. And, also another thing, Machakos County actually also wants, supports us in terms of spreading the word to their county members through their website and, their socials on events that we are having. So, but I know a lot more could be done. As of now, the other countries, I know they don't get much support, especially Tanzania. They have issues. The government doesn't like, those kind of events. I mean, I see them always trying to organize events and they're always let down. For Uganda, not too sure about that, but, I could see Ugandans really struggling to come. They had, I don't even know, like about 3 fundraising events for them to be able to bring the drifters into the country. There was, they were looking for sponsorships, they were going on TV, looking for sponsorships. So there's a lot that can be done around motorsports. As of the other questions on what keeps us going, I think, Club TT being one of, or rather, I think the club that, started all this from Kiamburing, the motivation has always just to keep us, has always been for us to continue with that, make sure that, there's always a safe place for people to race, because, even ourselves, we are also fans, and, to keep the sport growing. And, to continue working with people. I mean, this time we had Delta, we had MK come for an event, that was, to just continue have unity around motorsports. Anything else I might have missed on?
No, I think that's great. I've been able to get a large part of your answers. I hope we can sort of engage more on supporting the creative industry and probably looking at pitching for heavier support at the regional level and maybe just the continental level. I don't know how much we can expand to continental, but I think regional, there's a bit of opportunity for that. So yeah, we can definitely have conversation on that. But I think I'd like to hear from also the rest of the people. What keeps you going? What makes it interesting to just keep remaining in the space? Like she can drive. I could see Ashley. I hope I'm getting that right. Please pardon me. But, your skills were unmatched and everything was just buzzing on Twitter the whole time and everything. And, urban retro, all these kind of things. Like, what really keeps you going in this space? What is that ache for you? And why should you really get that support, Yeah.
I think I can start. I think on a regional level, we just need, some sort of, for lack of better words, some, free area to trade in. Because, example, like drifting is really big in Uganda, but in Kenya, it is big, just not as big as Uganda, and you might want, Uganda from here is like 700-800 kilometers. You can always drive on Friday and come back by Monday. But I think you trying to just go for an event and come back, those sort of hoops is something like I think the government should be able to work on. And also the government as a collective, and this is just coming on a personal perspective, there should be some support from, the tourism side of things, the magical Kenyas and all these places to support events, that are locally brewed. Something like Masinga TT is really big. It's only fair for, the ministry, for the government even itself to say, okay, we understand you have an event. You just tell us when you plan to have it. You don't need to send a million letters. We can always, make some cash out for you. You guys can come. However, the only catch is you need to, support. I don't know where Masinga, which county it is. Is it Kitui or Machakos? One of them. But this is the sort of things that you can find in Machakos, and this is the benefit that you might get from that. So that you just trade value for value, but not necessarily trading money, which you might not necessarily have at that point. So you just trade value. We'll come to Masinga. We don't need to pay you anything, but the catch is you guys need to market us for the next X amount of months, and this is the places you might want to go. This is somewhere to sleep. Because I know, like, this weekend there wasn't anywhere to sleep in Masinga. Guys were even sleeping as far as Matu, which is like, 60 to 70 kilometers away. Yeah. Maybe she can drive, Esna. Someone can maybe add on that.
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. I was even going to commend you for that. I was like, hey, that is a very nice and heavy question. Well, for She Can Drive, I can just speak on a bit of it. Because our main aim is to mostly demystify, the perspective that we have on women and driving. We really just came into the industry to educate, entertain, and to have as many women feel more confident day in, day out on their driving, and also learn a little bit more about their cars. So in terms of like getting support, I know that not so many initiatives, especially around women and cars, not so many have been endorsed, which I feel is very unfair, because there are a lot of amazing women drivers, there are a lot of amazing women mechanics, engineers, and you only get to hear of them maybe when you go into like some of these like industries, like for example the e-mobility space, which Alex is in. They have quite a bit of female engineers who are working on these e-bicycles and e-bikes. So you never really get to know, and maybe until you spot one, and which I feel is very sad, because there's a lot of potential, as you've seen from Shli. I feel like this is just a pitch. Like, if she's able to perform this well, I wonder who's listening in on this space and can, next time maybe even sponsor and just be like, yeah, we're going to sponsor all her tires. Let her run through all the tires. And it can be a campaign for more women to get on board. But I can say, as She Can Drive, we've literally been supported by the people on here, mostly SpaceYaMagari, the family and friends of SpaceYaMagari, and also people who just reach out to us and they're like, okay, so let's work on something. I think you market for us, you do this for us, the same way that Alex has sort of like elaborated it. So there's still a challenge. I feel like there needs to be a slight push for the women as well. So that's why we often put ourselves in these spaces, so that we can be like, okay, as much as there are a lot of men, driving, engineers, whatever, but also let's just think of that person who, let's say now, for example, Shli, who has dominated the track. So that in itself is an amazing moment and a win for us as women. I hope that answers your question, Lurid.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I think it's interesting when you bring in the perspective of, women trying to sort of dominate this space and not necessarily actually having the space. But I think it's wonderful to see just the ability of women in the space as well. It's very interesting, and also just looking at the dynamic of what you're talking about. I totally take note of that, and I think, yes, there's a lot of space when it comes to the advocacy for it, just to incorporate it into the creative industry, because at a large front, not much has been talked about in the creative industry when it comes to the car scene particularly, but has been talked about in terms of just regular artistry, music and things like that. But the car scene has sort of been sidelined just a little bit. But I think there are so many ways to explore this conversation even further. But thank you so much for those insights. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lurit. We'll also share our contacts just in case anything comes up. We are able to chat back and forth. Thank you so much for being with us as well. I've seen Roy auto-tuned.
All right, thank you.
Karibu sana. Leroy.
Yeah.
Is that my G?
I think Alma had raised her hand. Sorry.
Oh,
Alma had raised her hand.
Okay, I was gonna add something, but anyway, it was going to be okay if it's later. But I can just still talk about it. Just mentioning about drifting. I think that's also something that we can explore, and probably we shall. And it's something we are talking about it because if you notice this time, it looked more of drifting was, sort of like something for entertaining. But the drifters, and especially in Tanzania and Uganda, okay, fine, because we can say Kenya, we had two drifters. In Uganda and Tanzania, they had more. And for them, they take it very, very seriously. And for us, we mostly looked at it like entertainment, but they really want to have it as competition, totally. Like having it as an event on its own, or having a one-day event like we normally do drugs on one day, Gymkhana the next. They want, us to be having a drifting event, which I think is something we should explore further. Because, if you noticed, even most of the drifters were mostly just working on their cars and all the other events all the other races were happening. Yeah, so, even in the Kenyan community, the drifters should pull up their socks because it seems if we did that kind of a serious event, Wakenya hamtaonekana mahali. Because you saw those guys have skills. I think it's something they even do on their streets every other day. I know in Kenya you cannot do that. If any of you saw a video, there was a video of a Tanzanian driver. His name is Steve. Steve is from Mbeya, 1,400 kilometers. He was drifting at a petrol station in Kenya. That can never be seen here. But, it looked like a lot of fun. So I think we should give drifters some support to be able to do their own events.
So true. 100% agreed. What we're drifting, tukutane nyuma ya tent, tuko down bad apparently according to Alma, which I agree. So I think I'll start with Roy and then I go to services. Roy, go for it.
Yeah, hi guys, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks.
Recap of the event. That was a crazy event. Yeah, so it's been a good experience. For us, I was partnered with Boosted Auto, so they are my major partner. Put up a car in a week, which isn't a good idea, by the way. Yeah, and we showed up. Day one, of course, was still battling issues, but I think towards the end of the day, we'd figured out most of the issues, and the car was working pretty well, I'd say. But it's racing, so sometimes the smallest things are the ones that end up biting you in the bum. So we ended up having an old car problem, just old wiring, and it put us out for the day. We'd rather see what went wrong and fix it instead of trying to race the engine. So we pulled out. But in all, it was a great event. Unfortunately, we didn't give the Germans a run for their money. We were out for blood, of course. But I think we'll just have to wait and see at the next Masinga. But yeah, from Autotuned, it was good. Having clients there, having fans, having friends, colleagues, people in the space. It was amazing to meet all and, have a big festival together. So yeah, that's just a quick summary. Lakini nilikuwa na bili ya flat kurudi Nairobi, by the
way. I'm actually curious, Roy, and wow, there's like a million hands here. I need to work on them. So one, so I think I've always been seeing you testing along on the Sereni, and normally unakonga tu solo, you, your laptop, your car, and you're obviously doing a nice job. But so coming from someone, who has an office job, msema kona biz, and they sort of want to get into this space. So as someone who, obviously you're doing the entire ecosystem, either yourself or with your partners, how does one get into, this sort of field, so to speak?
Or the field, you mean racing now?
Yeah, racing. Si kimbizana bypass.
Yeah, so the racing part, actually Club GT came and filled a very big gap. Because before that, let me tell you, it was just street races. Watu walikuwa wanafukuzana na mapolisi usiku. Nairobi was chaotic. It was like NFS. If anyone ever played those, I'm Too Fast, Too Furious. You guys meet at a petit and it's running all around Nairobi. But safety-wise, it's fun, but the risk is high. So the events came along. I think it was timely. Even now vile unasema mambo ya office job, kwani mimi nanyonganga tai weekday, lakini saa zingine uko ndani ya overall na katai hapo. So it's not easy, but I think partnering up with having good people, supporting you, that's the first thing. Otherwise, you might end up having quite a negative experience. And of course, people assume, I think at the level we're at, in terms of, you'd seen the fast cars, all those one-eyed cars, and you'd hear people bowing out, and it's one thing or another. Even Daddy Loretta from TZ, we'd all seen the videos. We had the first day, and everyone was excited to see. But with great risk and reward, there's also that risk part that people forget. So, yeah, it's part of racing. You break things, you fix, you repeat, you upgrade. And the reason we keep going, and I also try sharing as much as possible, because people don't realize that motorsports also has that element of failures. That's the reality. So when people see, I thought it was important to show even your ups as well as your downs. Sometimes it's not a good day in the office. So it's racing. That's what makes it exciting, and you have to be resilient to keep it up. Have a good team. And also a budget. Otherwise, tutaomba njia ya kurudi. Kasi tuliomba lift, by the way. Back to Nairobi. Me and my madam. But we had buddies there, so at least the support makes it much better. Have a big team. Have a good team. Yeah, that's it, I think. I don't know what else I could say is the most important thing. And just come with anything normal and have fun. I think it's just C-time that everyone needs.
Thank you so much. I mean, that's I think what to expect. You just get into your car from your parking, you go to Masinga, race, become number one, go back home. They're forgetting the last bolt you need to do the morning before. They can 1 degree above normal temperature. They can lose oil cap and things like that. And it's not like you're not perfect. It's just that when you're racing, everything just has to go to the limit, and at the limit is when now things break, and you sort of just need to always progress. And it's important that you raise that, because we've obviously been seeing your performance, and like JDM guys swear by you and saying mazee Lira atakimbiza kila msee, which we've already seen you do that, and you can do that, but it's not normally a flat line. It's you're going up, and you've just put it like so appropriately that it's a sport. It's and the fun is in the fixing, breaking, improving. I didn't have a point you feel like, okay, now I'm happy with this, and things like that. And it's good that guys from Club TT and more corporates are also coming into the sport, and it's now sort of sanctioned, so to speak, and people are willing to say, next time something happens, takurushia flatbed for free, or here's some fuel for you. That also saves you as someone who's participating, especially for guys who are doing it out of pocket. You work in a bank.
Kama sisi bwana.
Kumbe na kuogelelea.
Yeah, you're hitting home.
Yeah, precisely, because I think the more you don't need to come out of pocket, you see, because again, at the end of the day, this car will flip in your parking. But if someone tells you, Roy, ukiharibu block, me, I'll bring you a new one, you send it. It just, for lack of better words, expands how much you can do.
Yeah, for sure. This
Amen.
is a passion. Now, wengine wetu, we're doing it out of pocket. Labda tungekuwa tuna invest ama opening up our dream businesses, but some of us, luckily I could merge the business with my hobby. So I love racing, I love building. So it's good when you get something you love, you can persevere those. But then the failure isn't fun, eh? I don't think anyone who saw my face there in the engine bay after I limped back to the pits was seeing a fun face, but you just you know when to take a punch. You think it's the hardest thing to do. People know how to throw punches, but receiving them, that one takes some guts. So you just ride the waves, as you've said, but having sponsors, that's what now we're looking for. And also just building the team. You know, we have so many clients who are now competing, proven on track. We're having good results in different fields, in the tarmac side, and Club TT and the different clubs. So I'm very excited to see guys coming up, and also me being a part of their journey is also amazing. So yeah, and the fans, I had to put up a show for them. I hope they enjoyed some sideways once I finally got it running.
Yeah, kabisa, man. So I think basically from what I'm getting, and correct me if I'm wrong, Leroy. So if you work at a brand, you know, if your voice, if your message, if your email can go to the right places, I think right now is the right time to. Well, the right time was yesterday, but basically right now is the right time for you to just invest, obviously, in motorsport. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be $1 million. It's more like, hey, Niaje Leroy, I have 5 Gs here. You know, this is what I have. Can we work with that?
Yeah.
The moment you start the little you have. And I think from me, it doesn't even have to be, you know, you don't need to be your KCB, your Barclays. It can be an individual. Unaweza call Leroy, remember, hey, Niaje manze, I've seen your performance, nini. I can chip in tires, you know, I can, and it's the 5 Gs, it's the 10 Gs, it's the $1 million. If you have that, that's what creates the sport, you know, because now all of a sudden, yeah, go for it.
Ukitaka sura tutakuwekea hapo.
Preach.
Yeah, and you know, like in a community of car guys, you know, like example, a space like this would have almost 2,000 listeners, and of the 2,000, even if 20 of us work in corporate, you know, if we even come out 10 Gs here and there, and it's not even about the money part, is, you know, you're actually building a sport. You know, if Leroy can build an engine in a manshata tafuta ka intern pale msata jua kufunga engine, it's 2 other guys that will come in and say, Niaje, I have to beat Leroy. You know, it's the teams and the ecosystem that you create around the entire scene, and that's how these things grow.
For sure.
Thank you so much, Leroy. You're amazing. When do you say it? Thank you for being here. So let me just jump to services for a moment, just because, you know, GDM lazima. Najua umeshikilia usukani, but services, number one, congrats on your new shop. I knew your first shop because I know Leo Mobita is my buddy. I also know you've gone to a seriously bigger shop, and I also know you're seriously into motorsport. You know, you've sort of built all these VAG cars. So services, the mic is with you. Unfiltered, go for it. Services, if you're here. All right. Labda mogopa Leroy.
I think so. But next time.
I knew you'd say something. Services made on a Leroy personally, and I'm championing for that. All right. So I think I'll go to Bob and then Esna. Esna, actually your mic is first. Esna?
Yes.
Habari yako?
Mzuri.
Sauti ilipotea after Masinga.
Esna, hi.
Wewe tulia ba.
Boy, baby. What?
Well, I think everybody can hear me. I had a good time. Not entirely a good sporting result. All the cars, or the car that I was there rooting for, you know, whatever happened. Bad day in sporting altogether, including everywhere. Formula One, everywhere was just bad, but we had a really, really good time. And I don't know if anybody has spoken about track conditions. I like racing. I like the cars, but I also like how they perform in different tracks. And Masinga was hot. It was crazy hot. Everybody was just losing hydration. The cars were, I don't know, it was really hot. The track itself was very hot. So if your tires were not very good, Pia, yeah, that's your problem. Heat can be good and bad. We all know, if you like, if you are, you know, a geek like that. But it was entirely really, really good. We had a good time both geeking over the cars and then also having fun a bit later in the night. And I cheered my voice off for anybody who was beating anybody, I would cheer, but specifically for the cars that I was keen on. That I had my eye on. So thank you. That's the much that I can say before my voice does the thing. I have to work tomorrow again.
Tutaambia counter atakutumia ndimu wherever you are. So thank you so much, Esna. Thank you for the vibes as well. Bob ameenda wapi? Just a minute, Bob. Let me just fix you. There you go. Bob
akiendelea kupanda. I think if you're in the space and you're creative, I think kwa wale wenye wako attend Masinga ama wenye wali attend Masinga and later on ukaona some nice reels, some nice images, some nice shots and whatnot. The creators behind the shots and behind the videos walikuwa wanapitia like too much hit huko. So I've seen akina Lesan huko chini mahali, kina Sagini, kina Kwesi. So kina Lesan, kina Kwesi, kina Sagini, itisheni mic, kujeni mtuambie how you experience your awards from the creators perspective, because watu wengi wanaendaga huko hivi to spectate for the cars, but nyinyi mnaendaga huko mko kazi, man. Nyinyi mnaenda get the nice shots, the nice videos and whatnot. So creators, request for the mic to skip your point of view from the Masinga TT. Think that said, Bob.
I think I can just add. Oh, Bob. Sorry. Go for it.
No. Mine is going to be something quite different, Alex. Please go for it.
No, so just to add on Kevo's point is, obviously, as amekula jua manze, if you see a nice shot, and you want to use it manze, kindly ask for it nicely. I'm sure they wouldn't mind sending to you for a wallpaper for your laptop and whatnot. But it's only fair if you need a print, you just do it, the correct way. If you went to Masinga, you have some little money in your bank, call your Saginis, call your Kwesis. Actually, they're here. Ask for a print. I'm sure Mwezi Kosana Bay, it's not $1 million, Bob, but also spend a cow. Just appreciate art. If you see a nice photo, someone could paint together that photo. Someone actually spent their money to go to Masinga to get you that photo. So just do it nicely. And I think, Kwesi, you can probably touch more on this. This is more your field. Sorry, Kwesi, before you go, Bob, go for it.
Okay, Alex, I was already in the mood. I'm a photographer as well, so I want to hear actually what it is for them, because when you talk about attribution and giving credit to the works of the creators, it's quite important when this is something. And to be honest, these photos will go far and wide. They are yet to go. And the videos that were taken there, they are yet to go. They will go. Mwaka ni refu. This GDM banter has not really caught up well. It would have been the other way around. I know hatungekuwa na amani. So that said, I want to allow Kwesi to keep on rolling, but just to remind people that this is SpaceYaMagari, and we are here to just talk about each and every other thing that you think about in the automotive scene. Kila kitu magari. If you have a minute or two, you can also kutembelea website yetu, that is at www.spaceyamagari.com. Hapo tuko na articles very nicely done by our authors, watu ambao unaona kwa TL sahi. So it's done by your resident experts, and those are the people who we believe know better. Sisi kama Space ni kuleta watu pamoja. We call ourselves an automotive content repository. So anything you're looking for, angalia pale. We have our videos available on our YouTube platform pia. Angalia SpaceYaMagari. So at all platforms, that is at SpaceYaMagari.com. That's it and done. Kwesi, tuambie story ya mapicha.
Bob.
Vipi
nyaje?
Salama.
I hope mko fiti. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Nianze wapi? First, Masinga was very, very entertaining, even from as a creative, but also very demanding. Nitasema that especially physically, the sun was not joking. and unajua unatembea, you have to be everywhere on the track, unatafuta every shot, unatafuta faces, unatafuta magari, and you have all your gear. So the way like an event like this would go, well, personally for me, nitakuja a bit earlier, nipige a scouting run, nione magari, I see what's there, I take a mental note, because eventually I will want to get everything, but hawezi pata kila kitu, sad to say. Alafu as unaendelea, mimi and I'll end up maybe having biases and see cars that I especially like, so you might end up seeing certain cars in a feature many times. In this case, I think ilikuwa the Mark 6 ya Nelson and Shli. That's a very beautiful rap. Kama bado yuko na mesikia. This time sijui, the previous Masinga didn't feel this intense, maybe because the weather was less, lakini I think there was a lot more going on. Kulikuwa so many changes, and keeping track of things was a bit difficult. And also I think as nilikuwa na lesson, kulikuwa na points we did not know what was going on, but tena you have to be patient because the creative process si kitu unaweza harakisha. But as we speak, sai niko jikoni, I was reviewing the images I took. Now there's so much and I cannot wait to share. I'd like also Lasan kuongea kwa sababu okay, if wacha nigika kidogo, but as I was starting out, guys like Lasan and Kina Keegan only come through for me, and as I was learning my thing, and they also helped me get on my feet. So Lasan, kama yuko, shout out to you and please say something. Na pia naona kina Zolo pale. Sad I didn't see you around, bro, but yeah. Asante.
Kwani Zolo amefunza wase wangapi? Hata mimi alinifunza. How old is that guy?
Sijui bana. Watu wamekuwa around.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you so much, Kwesi. Sagini, if you're here. Najua tulikuwa natembea na Sunhat pale.
Yes, hello guys. How are you? Hope you're well. So for me, first of all, the highlight, the event was good. Kina Shili, congrats manze, ulipea some guys run from their money, eh? Yeah, but good thing you're doing. It's a good way to start, you know, because najua kina Neema Thomas from TZ, even though tu walianza. Yeah, but generally the event was okay. Okay, of course it didn't go as expected. Kina El Gapo pale wali had some issues, kina Leroy, kina Rupal. Yeah, basically probably some things tunajua tu they happened, but tunajua there's always next time. So but big up for all those who are able to participate for event. And so about the photography thingy, as Alex has said, I do photography, automotive, and this thing I've been doing it for quite some time. Even to this time round, I've not been as active as maybe the other events. I only just managed to get a couple of shots, and especially since for Masinga, the Masinga event this weekend, I came on Sunday, so I got there and watched a bit, took some few shots, and there it got a bit kulikuwa na joto ingine terrible way. Yeah, but so ilifika some point, you know, sometimes as a photographer you get to experience some challenges about on regards to shooting, but the aperture is a bit, you know, so normally as photographers we normally prefer to take Akina Kwesi can even attest, we prefer morning hours and maybe evening when the sun has already like set. Yeah, but all in all, it was a good event, and thanks for having me here. I appreciate it.
Karibu sana, Brian. You're always welcome. Local legend
Yeah.
bwana Lesani, naambiwa wewe ndio baba of automotive photography mtaa. Lesani, if you're here.
Listen, I think you can unmute your mic.
Pole. Sorry. Hi everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. Nimesikia kina Kwesi na Shagini wakiongelea how tough it was to shoot, and yeah, that's actually the challenge of shooting Masinga. Usually something we say to the guys we shoot with is you usually have to pace yourself ukishoot Masinga. We get very excited in the morning, we see all the cars arriving, but then in order to shoot through the whole day we usually have to kind of slow down. So saa zingine utatupata tu tukitembea tumeketi, we don't look like we're doing much, but it's because usually it takes a physical toll. You have to carry your gear and masimu nini lenses, so usually it's not too easy, but it's usually worth it, always worth it. From my side, for this Masinga, I think I was trying something new, something different. What I was asking myself was, as an enthusiast, what do I want to see? And I think meona a couple of videos we did with Leroy. Niliingia Leroy akimaliza though, lakini over the week tulikuwa na Leroy most of the time, majioni nini, as he was building his car. So I kept on asking myself, what do I want to see? And I want to see guys actually prepping for the race more than actually just the race. So I had like I was there earlier when Stretch was mentioning he was preparing for Masinga and then tuning kidogo, then he had the issue. And I really like those kind of stories, and I really wish we would be able to see and document those kind of things, so that the race is actually the smallest part of this whole thing. So I think it's also something I want to continue doing. Watu watakuwa interested, reach out. I think I learned a lot even seeing Leroy doing his thing. Of course kuna kuangala a lot of pressure, stressful parts that guys don't see, and you have to troubleshoot things are always coming up, and those are the sides that actually, I mean, that's where the rubber meets the road actually, rather than just the race itself. So for me, I think I was a bit more interested in the preparation for Masinga, and that's why you saw a couple of videos. I have more that I'm trying to edit, lakini today I decided to take it slow bana. That hit from yesterday, ilikuwa jana ama ni juzi, from Sunday, yes. It was not easy, but it's always a pleasure meeting up with the car community guys. My stories huwa zinashika, and I think that's what keep us going. As much as it's the love for the car scene, it's always really nice meeting up with all of you guys there. So mkituona pia mtusalimie, na saa zingine mnajua tu jina, saa zingine pia inabidi mjue tunakaaje, mtusalimiange. I think that's it from me.
Yeah, plus the shots you took of me with the Silver X with Salman.
tutatuma
Anyway, nonetheless, great job you guys are doing. Kazi safi. We'll keep always resharing your work and resharing your content. Plus the perspective that you've taken about being able to document whatever someone is doing. I think that's amazing, and we'll try and work along those lines. And we're really looking forward to, embracing each and every one of you, and let's all, people, kila mtu avute side yake and whatnot. I think nonetheless, senteni sana mazee. It's because of you guys that we see the amazing pictures of such machines. And great work you're working with Leroy. Leroy by there, he's here. Leroy.
Yeah.
So maybe you could give us a brief on how working with the video you did, the prepping for Masinga with Lesan. Maybe you could give us a rundown of it.
The side Lasan isn't telling you is when we're there, not even seeing him. Like, it pick at the point we're just trying to solve issues, as he's saying. But I think that's the reality now that he wanted. It's not like fake. It's just us doing what we're doing. He also got to see the team, maybe the guys behind the scenes who also help out. The mechs, as he is saying, the partners, the garage. Yeah, and I think it was important. I liked it. I liked the idea. He told me about it and I was sold. So I also try as much as possible, just sharing as much content on the whole story so that everyone gets context. I think it builds even anticipation for an event. So big up Lesan. Hey, so many fire videos. I was shocked. I didn't think I was photogenic. Kumbe kokobata ama ni iPhone.
Ni filter.
My Android haionekanangi hivyo, tunakaa pixel. So that's amazing work. I'm always a fan of his content. So it was also a good opportunity to at least do something with him, which I'm hoping we'll keep doing as time goes on.
Yeah, sure. And we'll always be here to support the amazing work you guys are doing.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Leroy. Alex?
Guys, I had a quick one. Quick suggestion from the creative side. I think, and I don't know whether guys who are there struggled with this, but network was a big issue. So I don't know if that's something, a conversation we need to start having. Like some of these events, I think there's something Safaricom or the other network providers can do when many guys are gathered in one spot. Because I had even actually planned on shooting, editing, posting on the fly while there. But my phone was boiling because it's struggling to get network. It's hot. I don't know what that was about, but I think there's kuna room for improvement hapo. Not on the organizer side, but just something for us to all think about.
I think Alma's hand is up.
Yeah. So for Masinga, I think since day one, it's always had network issues. It's not only when the events, but it's the whole area around the airstrip and the hotel. Once you branch in the road, like going into Masinga, you start losing network around there. So I don't know if it's something can be done about it, but it's not only when we're having events. It's something that has always been there. Denning
kwa yafanya kazi Safaricom.
No, his hand was up, so I guess he wanted to add something.
No. Can I speak?
I'll speak. Fekle Safaricom.
Sasa unajua nilikuwa nataka kusema nitaongelesha CEO wa Safaricom, ni boy wangu wa home. Pia mimi sikufurahia hiyo story ya network. So but I talked to him about it and I will emphasize on it. So next year mko shocked kwa na network. Asijui mwana mnacheka manze, niko serious.
Denning acha zako. It's the Lakini it's not only Safaricom. Let me tell you, guys, for Airtel it was even worse. Airtel hata hawakuwa wengi walikuwa mteja. I don't know if anybody has Airtel that can give us the experience, but we always struggle in Masinga. You can imagine, as organizers, you're trying to mnajaribu kupigiana for certain reasons and you cannot even understand each other. You keep on trying to send an SMS now because you can't hear what the person is saying. It's so annoying and time consuming. But yeah, like it's one of our guys in our team, James Muriuki, he's the one who normally deals with sponsors, and this year he was doing some trying to get some sponsorship from Safaricom. But I think he would, also just try to understand, the issue, or rather talk to Safaricom about it, so we see what could be the issue. I think we can start, that conversation one of these days.
Yeah, absolutely. She can drive.
I just have a question. How do guys in these events, like very big events, how do they do this? How do they do this thing where they're sharing, like there is Wi-Fi and then there's also those balloons that I don't know. Do you know how do they do
Yeah, so
that then?
Safaricom. So all these guys, they have something called a mobile beam. So those big masts. So they bring a lorry that has that beam that is able to sort of concentrate network in one area, and then it amplifies it from any nearest beam. So your phone doesn't necessarily have to search. It's like their cars. It's just one lorry that they'll bring with a generator, and that's all. But I think it also depends on the numbers that you expect, because I know during rally ilikuwa like they had like I think 2 or 3 lorries, but I think that's something probably Alma would probably next time they'll be able to check as well. However, that thing also, like I think the way Masinga is set up also, it's really hard for you to beam because the nearest anchor point is a bit far away, but I'm sure it's something Safaricom can sort. But it also depends on how you talk to them. Maybe wanaweza kuja ka sponsor just for that and things like that. All right. So services ndio inakurushia mic hata usisonge. But Mobile amesema lazima uongee juu unaogopa Leroy. Services, the mic is with you. Six key, please go.
Services, you can hear.
Unaweza sikia services?
Hello
Again.
guys.
Finally.
Manze, finally. Yani mnaweza unda magari lakini hamwezi unda connection.
Hello, can you get me clear?
Yeah, you can get it clearly.
Please proceed. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity to SpaceYaMagari. Asante sana. So I was trying to get Ernest on board, who is our director, and at we'll soon on this space, like
Services, I think you're breaking. Come on, me peke yangu Alex.
Hatumsikii.
Yeah, so services wanaunda magari man, lakini network tricks. Anyway, but Mobile ambia watu waende watafute network. Watafute hiyo mast za nini za lori.
Uliza Deni ndio plug wa hii network.
Huyo ataenda kulala Jivanji.
I got you guys, don't worry. I got you. But then nitamuongelesha kesho asubuhi, first thing in the morning.
I think before services gets back, Anto. Sijui kama saizi unatusikia. Anto? I think Anto amepotea kidogo. But I think, yeah. So I think what you can all pick from the previous Masinga is that these are huge love.
Kivu unanisikia?
Nakusikia. Kwani pia uko Masinga bado hujatoka huko?
Okay, sijui shida ni gani ama Alex today na host na Infinix. Niko na problems all over. Like natoka narudi Alex.
Endelea. Anto tombe.
Okay. I think I know I may drop. But yeah, so Alex, are you still there with us? Okay, I think Alex pia mpotea kidogo, but yeah, so I think what you can all pick from the just concluded Masinga is that a lot can happen when we all come together as the racing community, as the casting community, because pulling numbers from Tanzania, Uganda, hopefully the next Masinga, Alma, if you are with me on this, we can try to pull in South Africans, because I think South Africa, it's another country where they have really, really fast cars, which I think ukiangalia their draggy times, magari mob sana ziko sub 10 seconds. So I think if you can, Alma, mmeanza kuongea na South Africans wakuje pia?
Not really. Going by what happened in the last MK event, I think I'm only I only know of that particular guy, the one who was supposed to come for the event. So no, I can't really say we started talks with them. I think we are, a bit more closer to, talking to people from Zambia and Zimbabwe. Those guys are also big on racing, and they've always wanted to come for events. I think just the planning beat is what overwhelms them, but it's nothing is impossible, because we can always just continue trying where we can for people to participate from different places, like South Sudan, Rwanda, all those places. It's very much possible. So we are really extending that side, and we hope to one day, have those guys come over this side. So it's an area to explore.
Yeah, sure, and I hope it really comes maybe sooner, because we should now try and, I think going forward, motorsports can be the one thing that may unite us as Africa, and, we may start creating teams like the God rest his soul, Ken Block and whatnot. Look at what's happening with One Life Rally. Then they're doing the world tour and whatnot. That could be us as well someday in the future. And we are just grateful for the work that you guys are doing at Club TT, and really hope tungekuwa na K pia hapa. We hear from his side, and that would be really, really amazing. She can drive. Your hand is up.
Actually, it's just a quick one. I wanted someone's perspective on this One Life Rally thing, and also it goes hand in hand with what Lurit had talked about. Like, how do we get to that level where, we're in our own country and we don't even know that these things are happening? You get me? Yeah.
Yeah, clearly, and I think that's a direction I think we can start and take and get to see how it works. Because as it is, tunajua that they're coming around with all the supercar they have, and we don't even have a clue on what's happening. But yeah, I think that's something we can start talking about. Maybe Alma knows a thing or two. Alma?
Okay, I thought they were here.
They're still coming.
Yeah. As in they're here.
No.
They're here, or they're still coming. But the point is, it's so interesting how these things just happen. Like, us, we are just in our own country, and then kidogo, you're just seeing a Lamborghini on the road. It's trending.
Yes.
How come?
Because he said they're coming, so I was just saying yes. Last I think I left, they were here. So yeah, I haven't really been following on if they left or where, but I know yes, they're having that event. Actually, me, I knew about One Life Rally, I think a few months ago. I had no idea about it. I saw it through the rallying platforms. I think also for me, I didn't know about them, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think they've been, the guys who really know about them are guys from the rally.
Okay, I think maybe we can try and talk to. I think there's guys at Shift Nation. There's some guys I think we're in contact with them personally. So I think we can try and reel them in. Maybe at our Kuje next Monday on the space. We get to hear what the One Life Rally is all about and whatnot. Yeah, I think that's it. Finally, we have Chris Paul, one of the mad tuners around. Chris, niaje?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Poa sana, vipi?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Chris, tunakusikia. Chris?
Aneka makodi kwa magari.
Yeah, just still recovering, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Proceed. Chris?
Okay, how are you? How are you guys? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, it's clear now. Go for it. Umepotea tena.
Chris? Okay, I think Chris is still reconnecting.
Kevin, we also have Ernest from services.
Can you hear me? Just
he's
confirm.
under Zawadi, I think. Yeah, Chris, we can. Hi, Chris, go for it. Umepotea tena.
I mean, I can hear you guys, but I don't think you.
Inakuja, inapotea. Let me try to set you up. Just a minute.
Hello.
Just a minute. So I've sent you another invite. Just accept that and then come back again. See if that works.
Can I be here? Can I be heard?
Yes, Chris, you okay now?
Okay. I can't hear anybody.
Chris?
Can you hear me? Turbo Diesel, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Say, endelea.
Okay, so I was gonna say about the international community, yeah, about getting them to participate, getting them to run the events, and getting them to interact with us. We've been doing this for the past 10 years, and it all started as a group of friends, trying to have fun, yeah. So we started with Kiamburing, and Kiamburing, we quickly realized it was a bit dangerous. Especially in terms of how fast the cars were getting, the speeds which are involved, and of course the safety aspect. And the safety aspect was coming up to the cars and everything, trying to make the cars safer. So we just discovered that the cars are getting faster. We need somewhere which is safe, which is much more controlled, and people don't have to get deep into their pockets trying to make their cars faster. That's how Masinga came about and everything. And this whole time, we've been telling Tanzanians to come to Masinga because it's much safer for them. It's cheaper for them in terms of the preparing the cars. We used to have, we have a motorsports body in Kenya. We have KMSF, and we were always into loggerheads with KMSF in regards to safety. Though, of course, some of us who are in the know it was much more deeper than that, because we really took away a lot of their fan base. I myself was a very big avid rally fan. Me, even if the rally was in Voi or Kitale or El Maravin, I'll wake up at 3 in the morning and drive there. But it was a reality check that some of these people did appreciate the support they were getting from the local fan. Especially when they started putting these rallies inside private farms. You reach there, mnapata gate imefungwa, mnaenda kwa barabara, you wait. So people just prefer to party next to the road because they're not going to see any rally cars. Second of all, these events of ours are more relatable. You see somebody, a kid who is in your estate knows, Denning is a racer, he has a nice car, Leroy, Kewashira, people know each other. Right now, if you go to USIU or any of the campuses or even high school, you ask them, who's your favorite rally driver? They're not going to tell you anything, you get? So getting to these events helped people become relatable. Mtu anaona Subaru ya mtu anasema, man, I think I can do that one day. One day, if I get a job, my business takes off, I can do something like that. Then you become more relatable with these events. And that's something even the Tanzanians and Ugandans realize. I would say Kenyans were the ones which kickstarted this amateur motorsports thing, because we used to go, there's this group we still have, it's called Tembe Africa. We used to go all over East Africa. We've been to Dar, we've driven all the way to Dar with our cars. We've driven all the way to Uganda with our cars. We reached there, we tell them, you guys have nice cars and everything. Instead of just doing anti-lag and doing whatever in the parking lot, let's take a drive. Let's go to an empty road, see what these cars can do compared to our Kenyan guys. So that's how they woke up. And you see, when you wake up, you realize, when you discover, there's somebody who's better than you, or they're doing something which is much more efficient, you want to join in. So you can imagine there's a time 10, 15 years ago, nobody thought there would be a 500 horsepower Subaru or Golf or whatever in the country. You understand? We all believed if you want a 500 horsepower car, you have to go buy a Ferrari, buy a Porsche, But now these are cars. Look at a GTR. There's a point you would see a GTR and it looks like a spaceship. Right now, you'll see a GTR. Yes, it's a nice car, but you're like, man, this is something I see on YouTube, but my friend also has it. You understand? And that's why I'm happy about the community. It has grown this far. And for me, I was speaking for the international community. We have to see ourselves where we are right now. We should stop sucking up to people who are from thinking that other countries are doing it better. So we should do our own thing. You see, like this thing for about One Life Rally and everything. One Life Rally is not a unique thing. There's hundreds of rallies out there. There's the Gumball Rally. I'm sure you've heard about the Gumball 3000, which has been around for over more than 20 years. There's the, Blacktop Rally. There's the Modball Rally. There is Players Run. All these rallies is actually the concept. I don't know if you've heard of the Great Run, which we do locally. We do it twice a year. We do it in June and we do it in the first weekend of December. The concept came from the Gumball 3000. And before you start saying, you want to One Life Rally, you want to join them, I'm like, ask yourself, have you come for one great run? Have you come for one great drive? Have you come? Because locally we have our own. Yes, we don't have Ferraris, we don't have Lambos, we don't have anything, but the concept is the same. You get a group of like-minded enthusiasts. You drive to a very obscure location, somewhere you would not even think of going yourself. Like you don't even think of going yourself, and you go do it for a good cause. You understand? So I would say before you start being wowed by people are flying supercars in and everything, be part of a community, because the reason why people didn't know about One Life Rally is because they are targeting a different community. Some of these people didn't even realize there's a car scene in Kenya. You understand? They didn't realize in Kenya, we've had Ferraris in Kenya for years. We've had Ferraris in Kenya. We've had a Porsche GT3 in Kenya before. The Porsche GT3 has been in Kenya, owned by Manvir. Yep. The car's been here all along. But you see, it's about the community. The people who want to be interested in coming to Kenya and exploring our beauty and our culture, they need to find something that they want to enjoy. Because for us people, you have to support locally your own. You have to support locally your own. You have to say, as a group, us as a group, we have, how many people have been to Moyale? How many people have been to Rusinga Island? How many of you have been to the bottom of Kenya near Mount Kilimanjaro at the border? You understand? Because those people who are coming here, those One Life Rally people, are going to do the same thing. They're going to come and explore the country where you yourself have never been. And the reason why they're not tapping into the car community to show them around is because we don't do it ourselves. You understand? Because normally local knowledge is key. When you're traveling to a different country, you want local knowledge. Of course, nowadays everything is online. You can go on TripAdvisor, you can go where, you can read, I don't know, Momondo, you can go on Reddit, but local knowledge is better. So if the organizer of One Life Rally had actually reached out and said, hey, Shift Nation, oh, SpaceYaMagari, oh, I'm seeing your activity on internet, I'm seeing here, I'm here, would you like to join us? In fact, would you like to join us? Would you like to do this? We'd like to put some of our stickers on your cars, some of our logos. In fact, if there's any aspiring photographers here, videographers, we'd like to put them on our team. They cover the event, we give them something small and we give them exposure. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about building your own thing. The Great Run has been around for the same time Club TT has been around. In fact, Great Run is as old as Club TT, even older. Because Great Run, we started it in 2012. We are now 11 years old. I've not missed a single Great Run. I find time to go. All of us are busy people, but I find time to attend. It's for a good cause. You are uplifting lives and still enjoying the car community. You're still enjoying being an enthusiast. You're visiting places in this country you've never visited. I took my BMW, which is a car, it's very low, it has a ridiculous lip. I took it to Rusinga Island. I drove on top of a hill. That place looks like Santorini, but you are in Lake Victoria. There's no day I would have thought of taking myself there. A year later, I took the car all the way to Moyale. We drove into Ethiopia. The road between Isiolo and Moyale is the most pristine road this country can offer. It's a road you drive, the scenery is beautiful. There's not a single pothole on that road. So doing these things by yourselves, because you can imagine that there's a team which will come from abroad, they'll bring in their supercars and they'll do the same thing. They'll after a few weeks, they'll pack up their cars and go. And that's it. You understand? So for us to be involved in such events, we have to have our own reputation, we have to have our own following and our own things which we are doing. That's on the rallies part. As for the including South Africans, Zimbabweans and Zambians into our racing events, again, it goes back to the main point. We have to up our game in terms of results, in terms of timekeeping, in terms of the caliber of how the event is organized. Because event organization is very important to attract people to put in the effort to travel all the way. I've been commending the Tanzanians and Ugandans because what will attract them is not about the cars, it's not about the fans. The event organization will make sure their trip is worth it. You understand? It will show that their trip is worth it. For you to put a car on a flatbed and putting it all those kilometers, for you to drive your own race car, and trust me, if anybody here who's owned a race car, they'll know. The older you get in age, driving for 500 kilometers with a car with coilover set for the track, noisy sticky tires, loud fuel pumps, rattling exhaust, solid engine mounts, trust me, it takes a toll on your body. For them to put in that effort and say, listen, we're going to put our cars on a flatbed or on a truck, take them to Nairobi, risk breaking them on the way, risk incidences on the road, all that, you have to make it worth it for them. The reason why it will be hard to get South Africans to come to Kenya is because they have a very well-established system in which they race. They have a well-established system in which they compete with each other. They have a very good class system. they have a lot which they've adapted from around the world. Even if somebody wants to fly from America to go to South Africa to race, they know what to expect. They know, are they racing against these guys? This is the surface they race on. They do. Mind you, Zimbabwe, they have a drag strip. Zimbabwe have a working racetrack which holds meets every 2 weeks, every 2 weekends. You understand? So for them to get them out of their country to come to Kenya to race in a runway, the event needs to be, we need to be realistic. Yes, Masinga is a prestigious event. We love Masinga. It's our baby. We've been there from the beginning. But it's not as prestigious as we might think. We have to be very realistic. So we need to, we need to improve. There's always room for improvement. Right now, at least this time, we were having live times. You know, people are finishing, the MC was telling people the times, people knew who won. So that's a step in the right direction. There's a step in the right direction where everybody knows what's happening. We need a place where we don't have to wait for 2 days. We want a situation which when the event is over, there's a prize giving, people are given their medals, people spray their champagne or chamdo if you're not if you don't drink alcohol. People go home knowing the event is over. And those are things which will encourage people from other countries to come. South Africa is way ahead of Kenya in terms of motorsports. If people who are old enough will know, South Africa hosted Formula One at some point. So the amateur scene and the professional scene is way ahead of us. And I have clients who are in South Africa, and trust me, they put a lot of interest in the Kenyan scene. They're like, oh, I see, because especially someone like Katanuki's GTR, it's really shaked tables in the Southern Africa. That's actually a fast car when you think about the world scene. For a car to do 3.5 seconds, 100 to 200 kilometers per hour, not a race car, that's a street car with the AC and everything. It'll raise some eyebrows. So they are asking, oh, what events has it done? What event has it done? What times does it do? Then you tell them it does those things on the street. They'll be like, oh my God, that's dangerous. What, you understand? So whenever we improve, we support our own local events, start doing things properly, more professionally, no shortcuts, all those things will attract people. You'll start hearing, oh, Zambians are looking at our scene. They're looking at, because I've seen, I'm in some of these South African forums, and already our videos are there. The videos of the RS7. In fact, the most viral video ever was Leroy versus the RS7. That video was there. You know, the video of Tanuki is there. So they know about our scene. But to them, they are asking, why are you guys racing in dust? You know, why are you racing in dust? Where is the times? You know, where is the time board? Oh, you know, so there's always room for improvement, and I commend Club TT. It's not easy. It's not easy doing this work, and I commend them. Me as a driver, I had so much fun. Yes, we struggled with the heat. Everybody struggled with the heat. Some of my clients who are there, Effie, Akash, I was just happy that we got to get the cars home. We got the cars home. They performed and they drove their cars home, but the heat was brutal. Anybody who was making power, anybody who wants to be competitive, really, really went through it yesterday. But I'm so happy the event was successful. The time management was really good. The drivers didn't feel like they're being dragged along and being used as pawns for entertainment and everything. We knew we were there for a purpose. We knew, all of us knew we were fighting for something. And my favorite drivers, of course, was Shli. Shli, we've been talking for the past 1 year. I'm really surprised on how she performed. I'm happy the way the car was consistent. My man, Sakwa, his car, he's now all-wheel drive. So no more spinning tires. My favorite run was for Doc's car. The 11.4 run was crazy. The car launched. Rupal guys, I mean, we were really hoping to be a Subi versus Golf final, but it is what it is. That's racing. For Akash's car, we're still learning the setup. We're still trying new things, and we're always trying. And it's all about practice. It's about practice, testing, going back to the drawing board and everything. That's racing. For Jeremy El Gapo, we wanted to see an El Gapo versus Leroy rerun, but it is what it is. People, when you at a certain power level, you start breaking things. It's happened to all of us. You break things, you rebuild. You know what the weakness is. Either you go above the limit and upgrade, or you stay within the limit and be consistent. So that's just racing, and the support that we get, considering we started as a simple thing. It was just a discussion over some beers, and look at us where we are 10 years later. And thank you for the support from the photographers to all the SpaceYaMagari, giving people a voice, giving us a platform. I mean, those days we had to wait for NTV or KTV or NTV or KTN to come and cover our events. Nowadays, we don't need those guys. We have you guys because everybody nowadays is connected. Almost 80% of people nowadays have a smartphone. They can access Twitter. And for the female drivers, I like what she can drive and Shlee and her friends are doing. You people are amazing. We wanted our own Nema, Akina Jennifer. I was really hoping we would have female drivers. And for me, I would like to tell people that you do not have to have the most expensive car, the most crazy, the sleekest car and everything. I'm glad Kinyash and Akina Melvin, or Akina Mavo are telling people you can have a simple setup, come and enjoy yourself, beat on the car, fix it, and drive home and have fun. It's this community that will enable to bring young enthusiasts and tell them, being a car guy doesn't mean you're a rich person. Being a car guy means you have a dream, you have something which you want to work on, you want to build. You never know, today you might be driving a Starlet, then in the next 4 years, people are driving Turbo S's. You understand? So it's something which, well, so long as we are encouraging each other and being friendly with each other. Akina Denning, I've seen Akina Denning since they were young. Look where they are right now. Denning is organizing very, very good events, very well organized events. And trust me as a person who's been in the scene for so many years, I'm not that kind of a person who's saying that vijana wadogo, these youngins, this whatever. No, me, I'm that guy who's saying I want in. That's why I'll support. If you guys have events, Urban Retro, I'm in, and I'll try and encourage all the OGs, because there are a lot of guys who've been in the scene for a while. But you ask them, hey bro, why don't you come for Urban Retro? Oh bro, why don't you come for this? I'm like, I no longer do these things anymore. And the guy has a whole parking lot full of rare cars which people want to see, cars which will literally encourage the younger generation to love. Because to be honest, I'll be very brutally honest. I'm not a supporter of bringing cars from a dealership or a showroom and parking them there and whatever. That doesn't, yes, it's nice, but it doesn't put a fire in somebody's body. But when you see somebody who's brought in their nice GC8 or a nice Starlet or their old school Mercedes, their old school muscle car, they have worked on it outside their house, they've spent nights on it, and the car is there, you're like, if they can do it, me, I can do it. Because trust me, anybody who's stolen money in this government can go to a dealership and buy a nice car and come and park there. But somebody who's put in the time and effort, look at Leroy. Leroy knows his car from nut to bolt. That is more inspiring than somebody who's gone and picked up a supercar somewhere and come and parked it there. Leroy's story is more inspiring. It drives, it's more encouraging. That's in my opinion. But for me, I would say I would encourage more grassroots events, grassroots builds, and that's how the industry will grow. All these guys who are doing, you guys, the photographers, there are guys who are doing fabrication right now. I'm seeing Akina Weldhack, all those guys. That's how the economy is going to rise. You can imagine if guys start building their own exhausts, we buy those exhausts, be sure that they perform. People will start ordering them from Maju. And that's how industries run. There are so many products you people consume that you assume are from America, they are from Sijuapi. But those products come from very small countries, like whatever. They just use China for manufacturing. But the idea comes from very obscure countries. And that's how economies, that's how the dollar itashuka. Leo tumeshtuka dollar imefika 150. And that's how itashuka. By us guys exporting our talents. Exporting our talents. Me, Akina Leroy, Akina who, all guys, we have clients who are from abroad. We are tuning people who live in Mauritius, tuning people in South Africa. That's how people are going to see Kenya is a hub of innovation, and motorsports and all those things. That's all I have to say. Thanks, guys.
Wow, Chris. Thank you so much. I mean, like, I don't know how to properly say it, man. Like, you've sort of hit all the nails, and I think it's only fair for us to have those discussion. Is, you know, Club TT is here, but what next? You know, how do you develop the sport? You know, if a country like Zambia has an actual drug strip and things like that, and if you actually think about it, it's not hard to build one. You just need, you know, the government to come in. And, you know, me going back when we actually started Space 2 years back, is we also noticed a gap of, you know, we need to wait for, you know, KTN to send in journalists, which is still there. However, how do we, you know, as local guys, as guys who like cars in general, how do we give out as much information as possible? Example, if you like old cars, you go to X. If you like tuning, you go to X. If you like racing, you go to X. And building that community of, you know, guys having the same conversation is how we grow. And I've also been part of Great Run, you know, at very, very early stages, and also Tembea Africa. I don't know what happened. I've sort of not seen Tembea Africa lately, but I've also stepped back a little. But I think I sort of share the same notes as you, especially when it comes to One Life. When I first heard of One Life is, it was a poster, guys are coming to Nairobi. It was nice, you know, it's nice cars, it's cars we've never seen, and things like that. And all this information was get kept. Like, you'd ask someone who you know ako huko ndani, and it's like, tell me some information and things like that. And, you know, I'm 100% with you. It's only fair, you know, there's Masinga, there are supercars here. It's only fair for you guys, even just show up, park up, you know, it's 150 kilometers away, to show that, okay, we're in your country, you know, to recognize new mko, but now cars are just parked at a hotel, you know, and then you have your own side events. It doesn't sit well with me. It's a supercar. I like Porsches. I have pictures with them. But that bit of, you know, not having that local liaison is what I also doesn't, I don't like as well. Sorry, Chris, I'm just setting you up again. Yeah, so, yeah, and Zawadi, I think this is Erastus from Services, if I'm not wrong. Zawadi, if you're here. Not audible. Please go. Erastus? Erastus, please unmute and speak.
Talking
Zawadi.
Omali.
Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Hello guys. For sure we are very, very sorry. Very, very sorry that we were unable to connect. I think kule tuko ndio noma sana, tuko karibu Murang'a mahali, but it's nice, it's well that at last we are able to communicate. I would say that for sure I respect all the people, all the guys in the industry. I believe that we have been birthed in time, and we are supposed, and we will do wonders. Obviously tuko na cheat code too tumeficha, so that we may unleash them in the proper time. But I would say that we for sure, God has been with us. Repairing Majaman, you know, sometimes is not easy. For as one of the team here at Services, we have managed to bring along many with us. You know, it's not about a one-man show. It's about also empowering your own and having successors who are very unique and very powerful. We are told that if you set up your successor, then you're going to raise a generation that is weak. So in Services, we believe in empowerment, and that's why we have been growing small and coming along well, hoping that soon you are able to see the Kenyan scene the good people in this platform and many other, those who have been there before. Respect to the old guys. I know you are going to see the young come up very well and able to do very, very good stuff. So, for now, our cars for sure, najua mambo ya mabuild, we normally we have been focusing on new cars. This is where our strength is, and this is where we believe that we are able to come along very well. So expect to see good cars. Uliona zile tulikuwa nazo Masinga, the S6 and the A6, they are still coming along very well. The supercharged bado tunaifanya maneno. We are still deciding about 2 or 3 things. The S6 mwenyewe ametukubalisha, so we are still bargaining with him about 1 or 2 things. So ninajua by next year we are going to be ready to be able to do good stuff. And I want to say that respect to all of you. I think tutasema tunaogopa kina Leroy, lakini they are good people, very good. We love to see that there is men out there who are able to drive high powers. You know, normally at services we say that power, horsepower is like spiritual power or political power. The more you have, the more you need, and the more you would want to go up and high. So for sure, being able to see the talent, being able to see ladies waresh wanna come up very well, being able to see those challenges, for sure I can say that we are very humbled. Expect more kwa industry. Those who are, there's many people who are saying services, you see your space is small, the Germans nye munaunda. That's why blessed Runda place is coming along. So we are hoping that we are going to launch it soon. Thanks to those who have showed us interest that they would really want to come, and also those who have supported us. And chini ya maji, many of the guys have come to the place. We will unleash it soon, and we know that we are able to continually being able to build more cars, repair more cars. Tunataka kuleta manzi systems kwa German machines. All those guys who have Germans, munajua ikifika ni German manzi ni mambo ya schedules. Tunatoka from repairing cars zile za kitambo ama kitu ikiisha. Normally akukosi ma struggle that watu wengi, you know, repairing cars, they repair cars because zimeharibika ama zimemuitisha kitu ama imemuonesha warning light kadhaa ndio ana act. But we want to come out and being able to bring a gospel that we can repair German cars with protocols, obviously with schedules and maintenance schedules that will really help the owners and those who own these cars. So me as Ernesto, there is a big team. We are going to unleash them soon. Also, one of our great we are now having like 3 serious
Ernesto umepotea. Sorry, I think we had some slight issues with connectivity. But I think in the interest of time, we can just close in. Chris, I think you can just put in your final sentiments, and also as SpaceYaMagari, we are happy to obviously work with you if there's any opportunities as well. And you're always welcome to come to the space if there's anything you need from this end. We are happy to support where we can, and also I'd like that Great Run sticker to earn it for the next drive. Chris?
Okay, guys, can you hear me? Okay, so my last sentiment is like, I'm just
yes, I
happy
can
that
hear you.
I'm just happy that we have a platform now. We have a platform that we can actually put our thoughts and the thoughts that come from different parts of the industry, from the enthusiasts who just follows pages to somebody who has this hand-me-down car which was his father's, or who's ako nayo sahi anataka kubuild into a project, to people who are more established in the industry in terms of service provisions, from the dealerships to the garages to everything, to put us in one space to voice our thoughts. I recommend you guys. For me, I would say is that it's all about doing. You can go on the mtandao, on the comment section, and fight with people and mnajibizana saying this one is good, but it's good to meet people in person and having a one-to-one conversation, putting a face to those handles. That's with the events, motorsports events, car shows, but I would encourage people to do. Siongee tu kwa mtandao. Go to events, ingia kwa gari, ingia kwa Uber, drive, do what. That's how it'll grow. Because one day Instagram ikiamua inazimwa, or Twitter izimwe, utafanya nini? You understand? Wakiamua tu azime switch, waseme amkusoma T's and C's hapo chini. You understand? So it's good to put faces behind these handles. Like akina Denning nawajua, Alma anamjua. A lot of the people, the listeners and the speakers and the co-hosts who are in this space, I've met them in person. I'm glad to have met them in person, and I'm pleased to meet them. Some people actually see me as an asshole. To be honest, I don't really care, but it's how you perceive me. And meeting these people in person changes perceptions. You understand, the internet is just the internet, but reality is reality. Nothing can change reality. So I don't know if there's any more events left in the season. For me, I'm looking forward to Great Run. It's happening from, I think, the last weekend of November entering into December. We are going somewhere in the Northern Corridor called Maralal or something like that. It's going to be a 4x4 event. So, but there's a high chance we might have also a tarmac route for guys who have low cars and don't have access to SUVs. Also, we are trying to encourage Club TT to have maybe a small 8-mile event just to close the year, just to what work on hiyo njaa. There's some people who might want to redeem themselves after Masinga. So that will be a nice chance to give guys to redeem themselves. At least kuna watu the people who had expectations for this Masinga, from El Gapo, from Akash, from Akina Stretch. There are people who want to. So if you have a chance to do it in a safe environment, Machakos has proven to be a very good place. You go, you drive there, no need to look for hotel rooms. You drive there on a Sunday, you enjoy the races, you drive back home. So if you can have one before the year closes, that will be excellent closure of the season. Yeah, those are my closing remarks, and I'm happy to have enjoyed this question.